everyone. Come see how fat I look. Good evening. It's the Steel Toe nighttime show. It's the evening show. I'm Aaron Imholt. I don't look as fat as Chad, that's for sure. Still can't get that out of my head. 5'9", 230 or 240. Ooh, what a pig. We're going to put that clip up from this morning at some point. I'm back in love with the idea of smashing the shit out of Zumock, because every time I see him doing something, I'm like, it's sad and it's depressing, but he deserves it, and it's so much fun. Like, I just love this idea that he's like swung for the fences and got out way over his skis with like the kids shit, and then everyone hated him for it, and everyone thought he was like the worst guy in the world for doing it, and he's running around going like, I won, and I'm like, I'm going to start fucking with you again on Monday. And that was last Monday. I started fucking with him again and started hammering the shit out of him. And then I saw his show today, not his show, Kevin Brennan's show. And again, he was just a drunken mess. And the chat was like, get rid of this fucking guy. He's unfunny. He's ruining the show. Ugh, made me feel so good. And April's Parents Hobby Farm, I know you don't like it. We fucking get it. It's ruining the show. I miss the old days. This is the best it's ever been. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Everyone else is having a good time. I'm sorry. And no offense to you again, buddy, but you have said this to me about 19 different subjects over the last 3 years. So it's hard to take you seriously when literally everything we've ever done to grow this show, you've hated, and it's worked. So I'm sorry, buddy. I guess you'll just have to suffer in silence, or, I don't know. I feel bad for you. I mean, because you're a good trooper, you're a good soldier and whatnot, but I guess, you're kind of cunty about this one. Like, everyone else is having a good time. They're making jokes. I'm sorry, the tribe outvotes you on this one. Grinch Girl says, Hobby Farm, you're the only OG complaining. The rest of us love the new direction. Leave if you hate it that much. I don't want him to leave, because first of all, he never will. He loves this show. But second of all, it's just him feeling like he needs to be close and part of something. It's like he's done this again. If he hadn't done this like 15 times before, I would maybe like take it to heart. But like, this is kind of common with April's Parents Hobby Farm. It's just kind of, I think like every 5 or 6 months he gets a man period, and he just has to vent about how the show's not what it used to be, and it's not as good, and then he gets over it, and then he's calling in with race shit again. So like I said, I'm kind of used to it. It's a cycle that he's on. Obviously, he just loves your attention. Yeah, I think that's probably a big part of it. No, the YouTube shit is so overdone. I'll sit this one out. Absolutely. I don't want you to sit here and make yourself miserable. We got a great show planned for you today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's not 100% exactly the way you want it, so you got to tap out. I get it. Some people are just like that. I understand. Mark says, don't stop fucking with Chad. Senior Fish says, is Chad Zumock the WWE equivalent of Savio Vega? No, I think he's more Abe Knuckleball Schwartz. I think that's probably a little bit closer to where he is. I just love that, like, I threatened to rape a woman and she doesn't want to talk about me anymore, so I win. What universe do you have to live on that you go, I sexually threatened a woman to the point where she doesn't want to be around me. I'm a winner. The guy keeps falling into my traps every time. And now he's ranting about, like, I think he's still ranting about, like, my kids and ex-wife. Like, I'm sorry for whatever hell that guy fell into, but I didn't put him there. I just exposed it. And he kind of opened the doors of his own hell himself. And now, the spiral gets worse. You could tell he was drunk today on Kevin's show. He was adding nothing. They were all calling him a bitch. The whole chat was talking about how he's ruining the show. I mean, close circuit to Kevin and Bob, who I do like. You're going to have to get rid of that guy. I mean, no offense. I know a thing or two about growing a show. Again, 7,000 new subscribers in 7 or 8 months. I don't think you can say the same thing. I'll give you a tip. I know it's like fun for you guys because you can just shit on him, but he's a ticking time bomb. Your fans hate him, and their patience is going to run out eventually, and you'll be left with like 10 people who still think that bit is funny. You're going to have to move on from it. For sure. I think some people are begging for you to just shit on Gino at this point. It's gotten so bad. But I saw it this afternoon, and it was beautiful. And now with the Scambo and the Liquor Pig thing, it's like the season has opened up all over again. And now you got a bunch of smaller shows that are shitting on the guy. It's just so perfect. Let's go to John. He says, I hate this show, but I'm here to see what crazy shit will happen next. Exactly. Does Chad Zumock have X-Pac heat? Yeah, basically where you have heat, but it's like real heat because people don't like you. I think X-Pac heat is the perfect way to describe him. Even OGs can be losers, says Crack Babies. Chris Weaver says, I find it funny when you piss people off. Reminds me of old shock jock stuff. I don't know if I'd call myself a shock jock, but, an entertaining little show we have here. Thank you, sir. Coltrane says, what is the goal at this point? Next Wednesday? Dude, I don't know. I got to be honest with you guys. I know we've hit the goal for tonight, or I'm sorry, for this week. I'm going to have to add it all up at the end of the week to see where we are, because, I couldn't keep track this morning. It was... Fred and Dave were just going crazy. I couldn't keep up. So now I'm just going to have to kind of, at the end of the week, I'm going to tally it all up. And I guess Sunday night on the members show, you're going to find out where we are because I don't even know. Any votes on Oz showing up tomorrow, says What's His Nuts. I haven't heard from Oz, so I'm assuming that he'll be here. I haven't heard anything from him. April says, I think I'm the only one that matters who doesn't want the homeless guy to be part of the show. The rest is great. Yeah, that's why when April's here, I don't make him part of the show. But look, I'm not going to, I've always said I feel a kinship with Ray Kroc. And when my enemy is drowning, I walk over and I stick a hose right in his mouth. And I found a compromise on this where I said, April doesn't have to be a part of it. That's fine. But Johnny hates the guy and he thinks it's hilarious to make fun of him. I think it's hilarious to make fun of the guy, so we'll handle it. I'm not letting this guy off the hook. He's done. Like, he's super finished. And again, I don't think you have to worry because he said the most vile, terrible things and embarrassed himself that you can possibly say. It's over. It's done. Now it's just, like, we beat the video game. Now we're in free play mode. It's just free shots the whole way. Fallen the Great says, Hobby Farm is angry one of his siblings is dating a person of color. That could be it. That could be it. Peach Rose says, I'm about to order pizza, then try to seduce the delivery guy. Well, good luck. I hope he puts his cock through the pizza. I hope you get nothing but the best from that. I hope he's a very, enthusiastic lover who brings you the pizza. Rude's Ghost says, as an old fart, Chad is low-hanging fruit, and you're funnier than that. I know. Nothing wrong with a half hour here and a half hour there, though. I believe the Chad obsession will end after DabbleCon, says Raider Hawk Media. I think he'll just kind of fade away. I think is what's ultimately going to happen. Chad is fake Doink the Clown. When will Zumock be invited and appear on the show? I only bring people on who have an audience. Like, outside of me, he doesn't have an audience. I control his life. I control his career. Nobody looks at him if it wasn't for me and Carl and others. So I guess we get to decide. We're kind of like Emperor Commodus. We get to decide, when Chad's career is over, when it's done for Chad. Let's go to Raz of Chaz. He says, I'll be honest, I know he is good for clicks, but I'm sick of hearing about him on Steel Toe, but I'm not a complainer. I get it. It's a minority opinion, but it's valid. I can see. Oh, by the way, Why Do I Podcast is here. He thought he was blocked or he thought he was hidden or something. I can see him. He's good. I don't know what that was all about this morning. I don't know. Paul Polito says, Aaron has so many shekels he lost count. Oy vey. I don't think I was going that route with it. Scooter says, instead of buying Misery Loves Company, I enjoyed a Snapple, as Kevin suggested. Well, there you go. I think more people will do that until he decides, hey, I want to put on good shows and not, try to have my own whack pack. Traffic in African says, never take your boot off his neck. Gray Duckling with $9.99 says, I miss St. Cloud Batman. The donation is just to make you do more math. Look, I'm going to write them down, and then I'm going to have April write them down when she gets here. But again, I have no fucking idea where we're at. I just know we're through this week. What's his nut says, only kidding. I got some tumblers engraved today. They turned out great. Awesome. Baby Satchmo says, hey, Fred, I'm in need of some help, too, if you're willing to help. Oh, well, there you go. Peach Rose says, noted 100. I thought you have to be hazed. Have to hazed at some point. I don't know what you're talking about. Probably fucking the pizza guy. David Chandler says he doesn't get how bad it makes him look, but then again, he doesn't get much. Yeah. Paul Polito says most bush berries are low-hanging fruit. Raspberries are the best berry. Low-hanging fruit is thus awesome. Paul gets it. Clumpy Cat Litter says Chad is a top-tier comedian. I got chewed out by Clumpy Cat Litter the other day because he was on somebody's show and he was fucking with Chad by telling him, oh, I'm a Steel Toe fan, but I like you better. And then I yelled on the show, I'm like, Clumpy Cat Litter is one of ours. And Clumpy Cat Litter basically said, Aaron, you fucking retard, I'm doing a thing. And I went, oh, sorry. It's my fault. I'll shut the fuck up. Let you go back to work. Now they're calling me Aaron Imholtberg. That's not good. That's not good. Senior Fish says, has Zumak ever responded in chat when you're live? No, never. He doesn't have the fucking balls. He'd get humiliated. I mean, when he's on his own, like he's a co-host on that show, everybody's against him. How do you think it would go in here where people actually do hate him? Reeling Minnesota says, ready for midweek. About time we get an actual blizzard. Fuck you. I don't know what you're talking about. I am okay with no blizzard. Thank you very much. See, I don't know if Oz is going to be here tomorrow. Again, I haven't heard from him. I don't want to text him and ask him if he's going to be here because last time I did that, he's like, you should just fire me, LOL. And I'm like, it's a little bit of an aggressive response. So we'll see if Oz is here tomorrow. And then I'll have to check with April to see if she's available to do the show tomorrow, if he's not here, or if Johnny wants to come by. I don't know. Time will tell. We will see. Let's go to Hulkamasha Baby. He says, got to listen to this show on the way to work, and now I get to catch it live on the way home. Well, aren't you the most unlucky person in the world? Richard says, Senor, the other day he logged out suddenly when Steel Toe talked about live show. I don't know what that means. Face to Face says, that's not true. You wouldn't let him come on. Oh, on his show? Yeah, I cucked the shit out of him on his own show. That was awesome, Face to Face. If you don't see what a fucking power move that was, I was on his show getting better numbers than he does, making his own co-host laugh far more than he did, and they said, hey, should we let him on? I went, keep this stupid fuck off our show. The men are talking. It's wonderful. That's how you play that shit. That's why he has 8 people when he goes live, and we have 600 in the morning. Somebody knows how to play the game. Somebody has been a host their entire life. The other guy is a lifetime third mic, unfortunately. Oz is not appreciated, said Terry. What? What are you talking about? I rarely get to hear the nighttime shows. Usually just the mornings. All right. Yeah, Face to Face will be a big Steel Toe fan pretty soon. He's one of those guys who he comes around to be contrarian, and then he goes, oh, shit, yeah, I have been listening to dog shit. This is far more entertaining. I think I'll stick around. Face to Face, I've seen you 100 times, buddy. You're going to hang around. How about doing overtime? No. Overtime tonight is, I got a bunch of stuff for you for overtime. I've got, what is it? The Quartering. I've got Opie. I've got Khalyla. I don't know which way we're going to go for overtime. Face to Face says, I hate both of yous. You know, that is actually pretty funny. I did see, what's his name? The guy whose documentaries I like, Porcelain. I was listening to some Porcelain today. Porcelain commented on something. I can't remember what it was, but he was talking about Steel Toe and Chad. And I thought he nailed it. He goes, this is the bum fights of YouTube podcast wars. I'm like, yes, I'm a nobody. beating the shit out of another nobody. This is just a homeless guy beating the hell out of another drunk homeless guy with a trash can. That's all it is. I agree with Porcelain. All right, we've got, I think we're pretty much caught up in the chat. Let's throw a couple of thank yous out there, and then we have a lot of stuff to get to. Paul Polito says, Khalyla and that quartering douche. Okay. I agree. I think we can move Opie to the middle of the week. I think Corey would be good to do Opie with. And then April, we can do Khalyla or quartering tonight. That could be very, very interesting. Porcelain is way funnier than Beige Frequency, says Bumbaclo. I wholeheartedly agree. Look, I like Beige Frequency. I liked his John Jones thing he did recently, but I'm kind of more interested in the shit that Porcelain covers a little more. I don't think that's Beige Frequency's fault. Six String Man says the quartering is very cringy, but he's just giving his audience of 10-year-olds what they want. My whole thing with Jeremy, aside from his obsession with Elon Musk's cock lately, is just that he's kind of taken that easy, brain-dead, anti-SJW. Like, it's still 2017 to Jeremy. And everything's like, the woke. Oh, these woke guys. Go woke, go broke. He's one of these guys who says that unironically. And it's just, it grates on a guy. It just kind of grates on you like a block of cheese. Trucker 18 Wheeler says, I usually get the night show in the morning right before the morning show. It's usually perfect timing. Adam Price says, Beige Frequency's Lady Di Doc is a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I thought so. I haven't heard the whole thing, but what I have heard is pretty good. What's His Nut says, I haven't watched all of today's show, but did you go over or see the new Barbie trailer? I haven't. The thing about playing trailers is they're so picky about, claiming them. I fucking hate that. Let's go to Samuel. He says, imagine, if you will, we actually got a show this evening. Oh, well, fuck me, Sammy. I'm really sorry. He's a grifter and he has shitty coffee, says Bumbaclo. All right. Let's thank Fred. He's got his drop now.
Well, howdy, Fred.
Fred with $100 on PayPal. Thank you very much, Fred. You honor us, sir. I appreciate it. Face to Face says, Aaron, you got me already. I'm getting a stiffy listening now. What did I fucking say? What did I say? This guy came in here and he wanted to go, fuck you. I'm team, well, not Team Chad, but I'm not Team you. And I said, just give it a couple days. You're going to be a big fan. I shit on Jeremy from the quartering one time, and this Face to Face goes, all right, we're simpatico. I like you. See, and you know what the best part about that is, Face to Face? You're going to hate me again. That's how this show goes, because I'm not like Jeremy. I don't have like one side where where you can kind of predict what he's going to say before you even hear him say it. I'll throw out some stupid shit. This is a show that, I prep the stories, I get ready to go, and I just give you the takes right off the top of my head. Some of them you're going to think they're gold. This guy's hilarious. This guy's awesome. Other times you're going to disagree with me, and you're going to go, this guy's a retard and an arrogant sack of shit. I promise you, Face to Face, that's going to exactly be your journey with this show. And I think that's why it's growing. Face to Face says, it isn't too big. You can handle it. No, look, I don't want to jack your dick off. I don't know what kind of show you thought this was. I do not want to touch your genitals. If you say that I'm making you erect, it is too gay for me, but I can let it go. The minute you need me involved, I've got to distance myself. That's just a me thing. That's not me judging. That's just something that I know that I need for myself. That's all. For my peace of mind. Face to Face says, I guess I'm in the wrong place. See, what did I tell you? I told you were going to hate me again. You're going to come back around. He says, Chad would. Well, yeah, exactly. Especially if you offered him a credit card. Of course he would do it. That's not me. I stick to my guns over here. Mark Stevens says, a bunch of black fellas. I don't know where that came from. All right, let's, Jeremy is charismatic like a fire hydrant, says the Trafficking African. All right. People are now arguing about whether or not I should help out Face to Face with his boner problem. I'm sorry. Guys, I got a little bit of COVID stuff to get through. Then we're going to make fun of Gene Simmons. And then April's Parents Hobby Farm is going to be very upset because I just spent the first 15 minutes of the show going through the chat and making fun of people. So he doesn't like that kind of stuff. Enough. He wants to get to the news. I bet you he wants to hear about the Vikings. I got to make sure I'm keeping him happy, guys. So enough of this jocularity, enough of this talking to each other back and forth. I just got a text from Gino Bisconte, and I know he's completely shit-faced. Do we call a completely shit-faced Gino Bisconte, or do we save that for later? We'll wait. You know what? We'll wait until April's here. How about that? Rude's Ghost says, who's complaining about a boner problem? Yeah, just look. We're having a gay day. That's all. We're just having a little bit of a gay day. That's all. Oh, they're saying I should. Okay, they're saying I should call Gino. All right, we'll call him. Here. We'll give Gino a call. I don't know if he's going to answer because I know he was doing Chrissy Mayr's show. So I don't know if he'll actually answer his phone. I don't think he will. Sorry, guys. I'm going to fuck this one up. I'm not going to be able to deliver. Like face-to-face's hand job.
Your call has been for.
See, that's not my fault. That's Gino's fault. There's also a chance he passed out. So there's a chance this whole thing was fucked from Jump Street, really. The newest COVID variants are this is from a report, are barely, I'll do the quotes, barely susceptible to the vaccines that were supposed to destroy the virus and save us all. The rapidly expanding BQ and XBB Omicron subvariants are barely susceptible to neutralization from the COVID-19 vaccines, including the updated booster shot, according to a new study. So it's like the other vaccines, or the other variants, I should say. Oh. Hey, you got to give it up for consistency, right? BQ.1, BQ.1.1, XBB, and XBB.1 are the most resistant SARS-CoV-2 variants to date, according to the study, which was published in the journal Cell. So think about this. All of these people got an experimental vaccine that was not fully tested before it was released. It got emergency clearance to be released. And then hundreds of millions of people, and then around the world, billions of people, have taken this vaccine. And now they're saying that all these people who got basically this experiment worked out on them, that the subvariant now is basically, it's barely susceptible to neutralization from the vaccine. Now, from what I know about diseases, and I will admit it is limited, from what I know about these diseases, correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm sure there's a lot of people smarter than me on this. Every subvariant from now on is going to be less and less susceptible to the vaccine. Am I wrong? So, we have this vaccine. These subvariants are now basically already washing this thing out. And so the subvariants that come after it are going to be less and less. Is that true? Look, I already got people saying we'll see you on Rumble tomorrow. I'm asking. I'm not saying. I'm asking. Is that what we can expect? Even if people are saying, Aaron, change the subject before you lose your channel. No. This is a study that came out according to estimates from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It's all right here. And a study published in the journal Cell this week. So this is an actual study. My question is, if the current subvariants are the most vaccine resistant to date, are the subvariants that come after that going to be even less susceptible? That's all I'm asking. It's the only question I'm asking. Noodles Alt But Mine says it doesn't matter. They'll still give you a strike. Well, look. If my audience is uncomfortable with me going down this road, I feel like I've made my point. I feel like I've asked my questions, and I feel like I've properly given you this story. So if you'd rather we move on, we can move on. I don't want to have you guys having an anxious listen tonight. That's certainly not what I want out of the evening show. Thank you to Balls Deep with $5. Appreciate that, buddy. Very nice of you. Again, I know we've cleared this week's goal. I don't know where we're at for next week. I'll be able to add that up as the week goes. How's that? So if you feel like contributing, great, but just know we are good for the week. Let's continue on here with the audience, see what they think. No, we just don't want YouTube to screw you over. I hear you. YouTube shadow hides this shit anyway, says Bowls Deep. All right. Diseases are no different than humans. If you live with what tried to kill you, you become immune. Okay. I got more people saying move on. Just listen to the mainstream media and do the opposite, one person says. Monkeypox is solid humor, 100% though, says Paul. Mad Max Mardigan says, I'm not following you to another streaming site. I have Who Are These Podcasts because you poked YouTube. Okay. Scooter G says, you should have blacked out your screen. Blacked out my screen. Oh. You know what they say about curiosity, says Triple N. Clickster says, bro, what the fuck? April still ain't here. She will be here in a little bit. Just take it easy. Jive Turkey with $10 says, happy birthday, April. Well, now, tomorrow is April's birthday show. So if you guys want to do anything nice for April's birthday when it comes to Super Chats or PayPal or anything, hang on to that for tomorrow night. April's birthday show will be tomorrow. She turns, she can tell you how old she turns tomorrow. Gray Duckling says, when your audience worries about you saying content. Isn't that wild? Isn't that weird? Like, isn't that weird? That, like, my audience is now telling me, hey, we don't want you to talk about that. We want you to stay here. Just what a weird time we're living in. Fred says, let's kill next week's goal. I mean, look, one at a time. Why good for the week? Why have limits? I don't want to take any more of when you're a listener-funded show, I believe you shouldn't take more money than you need. And so when we hit our goal, we are not like other shows where it's just, hey, we made more. We set a goal that we're happy with, and our company can scratch out a little bit of profit and run the business that we have on the goals we have and the advertising we have. The more and more people become members, the more that goal goes down because the members are an every month kind of a thing. And so for me, when we get more contributions after we've met our goal, I roll it over to the next week because I don't think it's right to just pocket more if your audience is willing to contribute to you. That's just a personal thing I have. That's my own code, I guess. Ryan Scott says, Sven is the only biodisease correspondent I adhere to. Yeah, was the real Sven Stoffels in our chat this morning? If so, I hope he enjoyed the show. I've always liked Sven. I have. I hope he enjoyed our program. His comments didn't seem like shitting on us or anything like that. He seemed relatively entertained, at least. Let's continue on. Fred says she's getting $1,000 tomorrow. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bumbaclo says, ask Gino about the Mersh and Cumia beef. I'd like to do one better. I'd like to ask Mersh and Cumia about the Mersh and Cumia beef. I'd like to have both of them on the show and talk to them about it. I don't know so much Cumia. I don't think Cumia really thinks about it or anything like that, and I don't think Mersh does either, but Mersh might have more of a spicy take on it than Anthony does. Who knows? Greed brings real problems, says Loaded Wrench. Yeah, to me, I think, look, we take what we need, and then the audience, you keep your money once we hit that point. Hell yeah, that Minnesota weather will make your face freeze fast. Oh, yes, it will. Balls Deep says, yes, it was the real Sven. Okay. Fred says, read my PayPal message when April gets here. I certainly will, sir. The Traffic and African says, Mersh says Ant is I've heard that from him. Brittany Martini says, Aaron and April both have December birthdays. Yes, my birthday is Saturday, so I think, Friday we'll do my birthday show? I don't know if I need a birthday show, but you get the idea. I think I should only have a birthday show if it falls on my birthday, but we don't do shows on my birthday ever, so I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, I guess. Turtle says, I'm sorry, he's talking to somebody else in the chat. Ice Knee says, you need to renegotiate your contract with yourself, your success. Again, I will say that I have a way I do things. I don't believe in overcharging my audience. Somebody said, hey, how about raises for the second mics? The second mics deal was always contingent on the advertising dollars. So I'm not going to ask my audience to pay for everybody. There are just certain things I want to have that pay for other people. I'm not going to ask my audience to shoulder that. Like, if advertisers come off, I'm not going to ask my audience to shoulder that burden. That becomes more stressful for me and for them. Richard with a great question. Should men really make a big deal out of their birthdays? Honestly, I kind of agree. I don't know if you're saying they shouldn't, but after like maybe 30, I really don't know if we should get too excited for our birthdays if we're guys. Lemmy says 36 isn't old. I know. I look, nor do I feel like an old man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could drop another 10 just like anybody else, but I don't feel old. I still feel 25 most of the time. Sorry. Coltrane with $5 says Aaron isn't greedy, and I appreciate that. That's why I am a VIP and donate. Also, the mod pay is great. Don't listen to him. There is no mod pay. I promise. They're saying 36 is peak. All right. Fine. 36. Then I'm in my prime. Face to Face says, I love celebrating with hookers. Look, nobody is here to judge you. This is a judge-free zone. You want to celebrate with hookers? Just make sure they're of age. It's my only rule. 21 is the last birthday that means shit, says Reeling Minnesotan. Maybe. I think 30. I think up to 30 is pretty good. Is Why Do I Podcast actually banned? No, he is not. I saw him in the chat today. He's good. Chris says, I stopped caring after 30. Yeah. I think that's, I think 30 is a good one. Freaky Deaky says, I started Red Dead Redemption 2 again. What a masterpiece. It is a good fucking game, man. It's a good game. They're saying 40 is a big one. Yeah, I think you stop at 30, and then you don't pick it up again till 40. Then you stop until every decade after 30, you can celebrate. But anything between 30 and 40, no. Anything between 40 and 50, no. Once every 10 years, men get to celebrate a birthday. And then I think once you hit 60, who gives a fuck? It's just like, is he dead yet? Congratulations. That's about where you get after 60. God, you guys are going fast today. I should probably switch to a new story, but you guys are all over the goddamn place. $5 from Slammin69 says for April. April's birthday show is tomorrow, sir, but thank you very much. I kind of agree with Pound Sign. He says just reading the chat is whack and talking about other broadcasters is boring. Heard Steel Toe was supposed to be a bad dude. He's right. Let's get to our fucking news stories, shall we? I'm sitting here just grab-assing with you guys, waiting for April to get here. Let's turn on the Jets and do a show. Gene Simmons is a fucking tool. I think that's the title of tonight's show, and there's a reason for that. Gene Simmons of Kiss, which, by the way, I'll give Kiss this credit. They're still doing shows. They're still out there touring, and only now I think they're actually spitting their own blood. I think they're now at an age where all that jumping around actually ruptures something inside, and that's not makeup or stage blood. They're actually coughing up, like kidneys are rupturing and shit. So it does add an element of realism to the program. Gene Simmons was on a UK talk show promoting some Las Vegas shows that he's doing or something. I don't fucking know. But they were asking him about the vaccines. They were asking him about masks. And I don't know if you could have an older, more authoritarian boomer take than what Gene Simmons had. And look, there's some kind of epidemic among these rock stars as they get older where they forget that they were rock stars. Rock and roll being all about rebellion and fuck what you tell me and I'll just do the opposite and we'll do what we want. And this is a guy who's talked about having sex with 1,000 women, drinking, partying, the rock and roll lifestyle. And now he's going to have the unmitigated gall to go and tell other people that they should be safer at his concerts. How many women did you raw dog in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Gene? And be honest. And then you're going to go tell people, oh, well, you better mask up at my shows. Listen to what this motherfucker said on an English talk show. I think this was today or this weekend.
So get over yourself. We're not concerned if you agree with it or not. We're concerned about you making us sick. So get your goddamn COVID shot
a good point.
and prevent other people from getting your stuff.
So get the COVID vaccine so we don't get sick. I will say this, Gene has always been out for Gene, so he is staying on brand with that. Get your vaccine. I don't give a shit about you. I don't want to catch your shit. Hey, Gene, if you don't want to catch what other people have, like fuck COVID, just like colds, flu, congestion, sinus shit. If you don't want to get what other people have, it's time to hang up the guitar and stop touring makeup, man. All right? First of all, you're in your late 70s, I believe. I believe they're all pushing 80 in KISS. It's what, 45, 50 years now? So they've got to be at least in their early 70s. If you're worried about getting sick, big bad rock star, by the way. Yeah, I'm a big bad rock and roll guy. But don't get me sick. I don't want you to give me your sniffles. If you are so frail and fragile that getting a case of the sniffles is going to put you out of commission, so much so that you need people to take experimental medicine in order to come to your shows, it's time to hang it up. Now, he won't, because KISS fans are boomers and they're fucking stupid. And they'll do, yes, Gene, absolutely, Gene. I miss KISS. You don't miss KISS. You miss being 20. That's what it is. And these 60 and 70-year-olds will line up. They'll go on these. Listen, he's going to talk about a cruise in a second. Is there anything sadder than a KISS cruise? These boomers will go on these cruises and they'll convince themselves. They'll go, KISS has still got it. They're moving with walkers. They've got artificial hips. I promise you, KISS doesn't have it anymore. But you want to be 20 so bad. You got a bad case of arrested development, so you'll convince yourself they've still got it. I know that Ice Cube is coming to Minnesota pretty soon. I don't want to go see Ice Cube. I'll listen to Ice Cube's music. But I don't want to go see, worth $100 million. Are we there yet? Fucking paunchy belly, 50-year-old Ice Cube up on stage. Because I know it ain't NWA or No Vaseline Ice Cube. It's not the same guy. But you got so many. But you know what? That's good. If you feel that way about bands you love, that shows you're growing up. That shows you're a healthy person. Or if you want to go see him because you're just trying to just check it off the list, you're like, oh, well, I never saw him when I was younger. Let's, go see him. It's kind of how I felt about going to see Penn and Teller in Las Vegas. I've been a big Penn Jillette fan for a long time. And I'm like, look, I can cross that off the list. I know I'm not seeing Penn and Teller from 1995, but I'm seeing Penn and Teller. Check. But you got people who want to go on a KISS cruise because they're like, oh, yeah, KISS. I bet they've still got it. I promise you they don't.
It's a good point, and we're having a debate this morning about that very thing, really. A debate about whether mask wearing should be returned to be mandatory here in the UK.
Sometimes, I know that the hoorah USA shit can be kind of cringe. But when I listen to UK TV and they're like, we're having a serious debate here about whether or not we should make masks mandatory again, I do thank my lucky stars that I won the genetic lottery and was born in this country. I am very thankful about that. Like, even the things that European countries and Canada used to brag about, like, oh, what about our, public health care system? Really? Because in Canada and in Europe, if you're really, really sick, they'll just recommend, hey, what do you say we just put you out of your misery? I mean, being in government healthcare now is like going to the veterinarian if you're an older dog. Hey, this dog needs a heart valve. I think we're just going to put him down. That's what they're doing in Canada. Some veteran asked for a stair lift, and they went, we could just, help you off yourself. He's like, but I'm like 50. I'm not ready to die. I just wanted a stair lift so I could get up and down in my house. But they want to save money. So to hear that the UK is like, oh, we're thinking about bringing masks back again. Let's just fucking do it forever then. Might as well. If you're going to live your life in this much fear, you might as well, because the risk of getting sick right now is going to be the risk of getting sick you have for the rest of your life. We are at a pretty normal pace of chances of getting sick. You got wintertime diseases out there like RSV, flu. You throw a little COVID on top of there. That's the way it's going to be going forward. So if you're talking about bringing masks back now, you'd better just keep them forever then if you're that fucking terrified. But Jesus, get a hold of yourself. But wait till you hear what Gene Simmons says in response to the mask thing.
To be mandatory here in the UK. Restrictions have been lifted. And I understand you even suggest people who come to your concerts wear them for their own protection.
Yeah, because nothing more fun than going to a concert where you want to shout out the words and drink and all that. Nothing better than drinking your beer, putting your mask back up, pulling the mask. Oh, yep. Oh, that sounds like a good time at a concert. I bet you your face won't get all hot and sweaty standing next to all those other people. And, you know, well, I guess they're all going to be sitting down. They're disabled at this point in their lives. They're Kiss fans. But, like, I want it to be mandatory at Kiss shows that everyone wear a mask. Fuck off.
Wear them for their own protection.
We are doing the KISS cruise shortly, and you will not be able to get on the cruise unless you're vaccinated. Look, before you go to school, you have to have...
Wait a minute. So I'm unvaccinated. The $200 didn't sway me. I was a little nervous. Here's what was my thing with the vaccine. I wanted to wait and see if anybody got sick. Well, yeah. And then I would make my decision. And I'm not going to say which way I've gone with that, but I've seen enough to make my decision. But if I would have known that I was going to miss out on the KISS cruise by not getting vaccinated, oh my God, you know what? Can you put 4 needles in my arm now and just make sure I'm all caught up? I don't want to miss the KISS cruise. Oh, shit.
Have your children get the flu vaccine and the polio vaccine. And there's no discussion. And, you know, what about my rights? Well, you don't have as many rights as you think. When you get up to a red light, you must stop. There's no choice.
So, Gene Simmons, constitutional scholar, I might add, is saying you don't have as many rights as you think you do. When you come up to a red light, you have to stop. A red light is not impeding your rights, Gene. You don't have a right to run into an... A red light is to maintain order in an intersection where there are cars coming from multiple... That's not a violation of your rights. Telling people that they have to have a needle stuck in their arm and something implanted into their body, that is an invasion of their rights. Nobody's coming to your house with a red light and saying, stop in your house. God, you fucking moron.
It's because it's not about you. It's about the other innocent people going by. So get over it.
No, it's about you two. People with the red lights, it's also to protect the person driving so that they don't venture into the intersection and get T-boned. God, there's nothing better than a really dumb guy trying to sound profound.
It's about the other innocent people going by. So get over yourself. Even you get in your car, you must put on a seatbelt. Well, you're taking away my rights. And
a seatbelt is not putting, is not altering my genetic coding, you dumb fuck. I don't put a seatbelt on and then have my genetic code altered. We should have the right to take your kidney and put it in a llama. I mean, after all, you have to stop at a red light. What the fuck are you talking about, you tardo? You're not even that good of a rock star, let alone commenting on shit.
The government's telling me what to do. That's right. The government is telling you what to do. Shut up, be respectful of other people, and get a vaccine. Put on your seatbelt, stop at the red light, stop.
All the same thing. By the way, it is pretty rich to me that a Jew is going, I mean, just listen to the government and do what they say. Oh, yeah, you would think that Jewish people would be the most libertarian human beings on earth. Like, you would think that Jews would be like, don't let the government control the post office. They'll be trying to eradicate your whole religion. But no, Gene Simmons, take the damn vaccine. You should just take it. I mean, you have to wear a seatbelt. Let us put tracking devices in your children. After all, you have to wear shoes in a supermarket. Fucking toad. God, Gene Simmons. I mean, he's always been dumb. He's always been full of shit. But, I mean, this might be a new level for Gene Simmons. I mean, or I'm 1,000% wrong and Gene's just totally right and I'm an idiot. Look, we report, you decide. Let's thank a few people. Happy Plague Doctor with $5 says boomers don't want to die. They'll destroy this world if they can't take it with them. I agree with you, man. Boomers are the most selfish people on earth. I think Bill Maher, early on in the pandemic, said something like, boomers' parents stormed the beaches at Normandy. Can the boomers just let these young people go to the beach? And, it was a good point. Boomers do not give a fuck about anybody but boomers. We'll go to Marquise in just a second. But first, thank you to Slammin69. Says boomers have destroyed everything handed to them. I agree with you, sir. We got a few more people to thank. Happy Plague Doctor says boomers will crash the world economy rather than catch a cold. Yep. Is this just going to straight boomer hate? Because I'm kind of getting a chubby now. Thank you to Vadir Ulfarsson with 3,000 krone, I think. Icelandic krone? I'm not sure. He says, I like my blood unclotted. I'll pass. All right. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's go to Marquise. Marquise, what's up, buddy?
This is not Marquise, sir. This is Gene Simmons.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Now,
Gene Simmons. You're calling from your buddy Marquise's phone. I apologize. Gene Simmons, everyone. This is great. Gene, I said some very aggressive things about you. I hope you're not too upset.
I don't understand what the problem is with you. What's your name? Aaron Imholt?
Aaron. Yeah, Aaron Imholt. That is my name, sir.
Just because I want people to take the shot before coming to my show, that is of no concern to you. This is how I make my money, sir.
Well, to make your money... Go ahead.
And if you don't watch out, sir, not only will I get my aggressively douchey Jewish lawyer on you, but I, sir, will fuck your girlfriend.
Wow, you're going to fuck my girlfriend. Oh, my God. Gene Simmons, did you go to the Chad Zumach School of Comebacks?
Yeah, just like I fucked one Anthony Cumia's girlfriend, I will come for yours.
Oh, that's right. You did threaten to fuck Anthony's girlfriend. That's right.
I am Mr. Take Your Girlfriend, as the Negroes like to say.
So Chad's ripping you off.
Indeed, he is.
All right.
And I will do it.
Well, Gene, look, Gene, I certainly don't want you to fuck my girlfriend. So, I'm sorry. I just would you reconsider the whole making the vaccine mandatory for the Kiss cruise, or has that ship sailed? No pun intended.
I will be going through with the Kiss cruise, and I will have marvelous merchandise to sell on that Kiss cruise.
Well, nobody's doubting that, Gene.
Such as the Kiss edition Viagra pill.
Oh, that's good. Well, Gene, let us know how it goes. Maybe you'll call in after the cruise, and maybe everyone will have calmed down a little bit.
I definitely will.
All right.
I'm hope.
All right. Thank you, Gene. It's Gene Simmons calling in. He was upset. I get it. I said some pretty shitty things about him. We welcome the back and forth here on this show. Dabbler's Unanimous says, Hitler said the same thing Gene is advocating for. That was my point. Is that he's like, just do what the government tells you to do. And I'm like, a Jewish guy should not be saying that. Dabbler's Unanimous says, us Jews are very conservative. It is non-practicing Jews who aren't. That's right. I've heard that. I've heard like Orthodox Jews are remarkably conservative. And it's like non-religious, like what do they call them? Cultural Jews that are more liberal. It's kind of weird, right? Like if you don't have that fear of God in you, you just, fuck it. Everything goes. I don't know. Kiss Cruise sponsored by Pfizer, says Liquid Chicken, right? Euclid Barrett said, I remember early on they were calling COVID boomer remover. I know, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. By the way, Fred, I saw your $50 in PayPal. Thank you, bud.
Well, howdy, Fred.
I'm going to read those to April when she gets here tonight. April is buying more bread loaves. No, we just got really bad roads here in Minnesota. It's been snowing all day. April brought the kids back, and it's taken a while to get back home. Gene Simmons blowing the fuck out of Aaron right now. Yeah. I mean, look, I got deep dicked by Gene. There's no doubt about it. Let's continue on here with you guys. Then we'll go on to another story. I hope that pound sign. I hope you're happy with us. Going over a story and getting away from the chat a little bit. I do want you to enjoy the show. April said, April update. She's stuck behind 4 plows. Lucky devil. Bumbaclo says, I want to vaccinate all night and mask up every day. I want to vaccinate all night and what the government says you obey. It's all kinds of them. Now I get that damn pill song stuck in my head thing. Oh, I'm sorry, people talking to each other in the chat. Pound sign says steel toe is good. Quit reading the chat. Oh, fuck. I read yours. What a conundrum I find myself in. Pound sign, you have to understand, like, I like my community. I like the fans that we have, so I want them to feel a part of the show. So after each story, I like to, go to them and get their opinions and everything else. Alex Bernal says, steel toe killing it. Adolf, My Pillow guy, and now Gene Simmons. Yeah, I mean, everybody calls into this show. What can I say? Oh, man. I thought we were going to have April back by the time we got to this part in the show. But you know what? We can do this one. Oh, you know what? I know exactly how we're going to greet April tonight. It'll be perfect. This will be good. We'll read her the messages that Fred has for her. And then after that, I have the absolute perfect video to show you. Black Ornament says, why do I podcast? Is a Red Bar guy. Look, a lot of you are Red Bar guys who love this show. I accept all of you. I love everybody who listens to this show. I don't care if you're a Red Bar fan. I don't care if you hate Red Bar. I don't care if you're a compound guy, not a compound guy. As long as you like our show, I think there's at least something right with you. All right. They're saying April is actually in Chad's trunk. Oh, God, I hope not. That would be the smelliest. Wait a minute. She's not in Chad's trunk. He can't afford a car. What are you talking about? That's how I know you're lying. That is how I know you're lying, you son of a bitch. I caught you. Slammin says, you're kicking ass tonight, Toe. I'm not. Am I Toe? I'm not Toe.
Everybody's a buzz about the Toe guy.
Oh, God damn it. Pound sign says, April is the pretty blonde girl. Steele sounds like an actual broadcaster. Good for you, man. I'm not Steele either.
Everybody's a buzz about the Toe guy.
No, I'm not Toe. My name is Aaron. I host the Steel Toe Show. I thought that this was easy to figure out. Someone just wrote in the chat, Red Bar has AIDS, Skol. It's not a celebration. Like, even if you don't like Red Bar, you shouldn't root for him to have AIDS, for Christ's sake. Oh, my God. I don't know what the hell's going on tonight, but it's very, very funny. April says, I am Steel. No, don't say shut up, Toe. You're going to confuse all the newbies. By the way, if you're here, you're new, you enjoy the show, subscribe to the channel. Please take a second to subscribe. We've already cleared our subscriber goal for the year. We're trying to see if we can jack it all the way up to 7,500 before the end of the year. Also, hit the like button on this stream. It helps with all the algorithms and all that shit, so we appreciate that. Black Ornament says, Aaron banned the Red Bar guys. No, I didn't. I did not ban. I like the Red Bar people. They've been very good fans. You included, sir. Shaq was the original Steel. All right, guys. Hashtag is right. We're losing the plot here a little bit. David Chandler says, is 7,500 subs a lot? No, actually.
Well, 750,000 is a lot.
That's a lot. All right, continuing on here. Oh, I found a new, what do you call it? A new crime that should be punishable by death. Are you ready? Especially this time of year. Ready? Here you go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Marius Payton.
And I'm Lydia Fielder tonight at...
No, not interracial newscasts. I just have to say this before you look at the... I don't mean like interracial newscasts should be punishable by death. By God, this isn't Iran.
Marius Payton.
And I'm Lydia Fielder. Tonight at 10, a bizarre investigation at a TDOT facility after workers stumble across a human heart. We have the latest details on their investigation as they work to find out.
Not what this story is. No.
Plus, new concerns over guns at the airport. Why the TSA is confiscating more guns per person at BNA
Wrong
than
story.
any other airport in the U.S. But we want to start in Green Hills. Where
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say, what the fuck? By the way, did you hear what those two opening stories were? Those seem vaguely important, right? Like guns at the TSA and all that other shit. Those sound like important news stories. Look what they're going to start the news with.
At BNA than any other airport in the U.S. But we want to start in Green Hills, where some say porch pirates are getting out of control.
Yep, holiday pack.
Hey, that's racist. Porch pirates. I was going to say, I don't think that newscaster should be saying that phrase. You'd think he would object to that. Porch pirates. I do think people should be executed for this crime. Like, especially around Christmas time. Just going on people's like doorsteps while they're at work and stealing their Amazon packages. If you, here's the rule. If you can find them yourself, you can beat them to death with a baseball bat. If the cops find them, unless the person gives them the package undamaged, the police should be allowed to shoot them or tase them in a pool. One of the two. It's just such a lowbrow, shit-heel, garbage person thing to do. It's like stealing a bottle of vodka from a liquor store. Like, what? How close are you to hanging yourself at that point? You're just a low-life piece of shit. You do something like that. Punishable by death. I don't think we'd lose anyone important if that was just death on sight. Stealing. Remember, they used to hang horse thieves in the Old West? Let's bring that back. You steal an Amazon package. I don't care if it's $10. It's the principle of the act. You go onto somebody's porch, you steal their Amazon package, hang you.
Packages, you know them, headed to your home. Well, they're being snatched up in a matter of seconds in some instances. Tonight, in fact, one woman has a warning after her cameras cut a real Grinch in the act here. Our Danielle Jackson has this story.
I have a package coming. I've been waiting for it.
Kaylee Collins was anticipating a package this week.
So I go on and I track it and it says it was delivered 2 days ago. And I'm like, oh gosh, like 2 days later, who knows where it could be.
That package made it to her home, but not for long.
So I pull it up and I actually see it getting dropped off. So I was like, okay, it didn't go to the wrong spot. It was here. And then.
Good job. Wow. I tell you what, why isn't she a detective for the police force with all this deductive reasoning she's putting together? Whew, I tell you, nothing gets past her.
You know, 2 minutes later, according to the timestamp, I see a car pull up and this lady just walks out, so just like nonchalant, comfortable, walks up to my door and takes my package and drives off.
Kaylee posted this video on 2 neighborhood apps, and this was the response she got back.
I'm guessing all the responses she got back, if she put it on Facebook, was a bunch of other either single moms or stay-at-home moms. Oh my God, this is so dangerous. Like, suburban moms, their idea of danger is so disgustingly skewed that it makes me want to puke sometimes. Like, they hear porch pirates like, this neighborhood is so dangerous, we should all start locking our doors and cars at night. It's like, are you out of your fucking mind? You live in one of the most safe places on earth. Somebody took an Amazon package while you were at work and you're thinking of, you know, putting bars on the windows and fucking alarm systems and all this other shit. It's like some old saggy-titted bitch with no dignity went and stole a package off your front lawn. If they would have heard the slide of a shotgun, if they would have just heard a shotgun rack, they would have ran away and pissed themselves in that order. Or, you know, maybe the reverse order. I don't know. I'm not familiar with how you piss yourself after or before you commit a theft. Ask Chad, I guess.
Immediately, I had people comment on it and saying, oh this looks like the lady that stole a package from me 2 days ago. Or this lady was seen on Charlotte Avenue last week.
Just this week.
Of course, you fucking gossips and you looky-loos. Of course you, oh, I've seen her over here. Oh, I saw her over here. I told my husband the other day she's such a bitch, but he wouldn't listen. Right, because every time he comes home, you've got to blab about all the people you saw and who you're suspicious of. And there's, ugh. Go work with blind kids, lepers or something. Anything beats sitting around here waiting for me to fuck you, I'll tell you that.
A WSMV viewer
don't toot your horn, honey, you're not that good. Oh yeah? Frank was better?
Sent us video of a porch pirate in the Edge Hill community. You can see the person from the street walking.
I mean, honestly, I don't know about you. I'm very scared of porch pirates. It's the second most feared porch blank thing you can possibly have in my neighborhood. There's only one other porch item scarier than a porch blank porch pirate. Only one thing scarier. Porch fire. What were you thinking?
To the porch and taking a package.
No, the one you're thinking of is fourth, right behind Porch Jew. Sorry.
We're told it was a sentimental gift from a family member abroad.
It was a butt plug. Calm down. But it was engraved, so it meant something. I get it.
I work hard for my stuff, and this person is out here just walking up and taking something from somebody. I feel
everybody works hard for their stuff. I work hard for my stuff. Why couldn't they go steal it from my neighbor 2 doors down? I fucking hate her. She's a deadbeat piece of shit. Me, I work hard for my stuff.
Violated, actually.
I checked with Metro Police to see how they keep up with the number of porch pirates. I was told it falls under the broad spectrum of theft, and they haven't made...
If it's dark out and you haven't taken the Amazon package off your doorstep, I feel like that one's kind of on you. If someone pulls up and steals your shit in broad daylight off the doorstep while you're at work, I mean, there's not much you can do. But if it's dark out and you were too fucking lazy and tired from work to go to your front porch and pick up a package, I don't know. You kind of deserved it.
Any recent arrest in thieves stealing from porches. Last year, state leaders passed a law that upgraded the penalty for stealing mail or packages to a felony.
I want them.
Great. So stealing a package off a porch is the same as fucking a goat. Look, how about we just change it to a shoot-on-sight crime, and then we'll cut down on it. I don't think anybody's willing to raid an Amazon package and catch a bullet for it.
To see this lady and say something.
Kaylee's now found a police report. While she doesn't know if this woman will ever be caught, she's...
See, like, how satisfying would it be to catch that woman and just jack her with a baseball bat? Like, just right in the teeth. Wouldn't that be fun? That's a fun way to stop a crime.
Hoping someone recognizes her. In the meantime...
Who's here, Gordy? Go get him, bud. Go get him. Go get him, Gord. Go get him. April must be home. I just heard the dog kind of... Go get him, Gord. Get him, bud. Go get him, Gord. Got a fucking chihuahua, and he's kind of learning. 9 or 10 months old. He's kind of learning how to bark at the door, but he won't lean into it, so it's kind of like a woof, woof. Or no, it's a chihuahua, so it's woof, woof, woof. But it's not like that. He'll get there. He'll get there. Kids today were asking me if we could have a miniature Italian greyhound. And I'm like, I'm inclined to say yes, because they look like fucking cool, fun little shits. But I don't know. 2 dogs in this house, I'd lose my mind.
She's planning to use a different avenue to retrieve her packages.
Obviously, this lady has not...
Sucking the detective's dick.
...stopped, and I don't know if she will. So going forward, I am probably going to do, like, pick it up at, like, a FedEx location or UPS location.
In Nashville, I'm Danielle Jackson.
Look at the big brains on Brett. All right. Well, look, porch pirates are a thing. Like, to me, look, if we got rid of them, what are we losing? That's all I ask. If we get rid of them, who are we losing? You answer me that in a way that makes me, turn against my original idea of we should be able to shoot on sight the porch pirates, and I'll listen. How's that? Let's go to the chat and see what you guys think about the whole ordeal. I saw a video where a box blew up and a porch pirate shit himself. Well, that's fun. Who wouldn't love to see that? Happy Days says, I was all fucked up, so I stole vodka at Tito's. That's all. I joke about it in my act, says Happy Days. Ladies Man says, we got a gift accidentally in our mailbox, supposed to be our neighbor's. We returned it with a note saying sorry for opening it. It wasn't addressed to you, you little looky-loo. Or was it? Sorry if that's the case. Alex becoming a Yeehaw Club member. Thank you very much, buddy. I'm keeping track of all this stuff so that I can know where we're at in terms of the goal. We've knocked it out for this week, but I don't know where we are for next week. You guys have been too hot and heavy so far today. Happy Days says, every apartment's always been like that. Yeah, I imagine at apartments it's really bad. David Chandler says, going to catch April's birthday show tomorrow night. They're communicating. David and Fred are communicating. Uh-oh. You know what that means.
Well, howdy, Fred.
Exactly.
You'd all be dead now if it wasn't my David.
I love that those guys have been so generous to this show that we had to give them their own drops for when they contribute obscene amounts of money to this show. They're saying that woman was actually Chad's mother. I think she's dead. Well, at least I hope she is. Otherwise, she'd be really embarrassed. But at any rate, CC says your show sucks. Well, that's fair. I mean, I certainly, if I felt the way you did, I wouldn't be listening to it. Oh, could you imagine if you thought something sucked and you just kept listening? I'd feel like shit. Not me. I mean, he should feel like shit if that's where he's at. Could you imagine living in an apartment, says the Happy Plague Doctor. I mean, look, it's not for me, but I understand if it is for other people. What the fuck is that?
I just poured my leftover coffee in it.
Oh, God, I thought you made like an eggnog thing. Oh, I was going to throw you out the window.
Honest to God, it's old coffee.
Oh, my God. All right, April's here. Take a seat. Let's do a show. Look at that. She's not even going to take her coat off. What a pro. She's going to sit down. She's going to get comfy.
Okay.
And then she's going to
I will tell you this
grunt
much.
it out.
That was exhausting. Not even like my driving. It's just that other people drive like assholes, like this.
You know, a lot of people feeling that this time of year. They don't like the driving. All right. Fred with $100 on PayPal says, happy early birthday, April. Everyone should kick in like $5 and make it a special day for her. Fuck Chad. I got to get that in. And another $50 from Fred. He says, let's get these super chats going. $5 a person adds up nice. Where you at, Chandler? I think David Chandler wants to have like a big birthday party show tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
for April.
That's fine. Thank you so much, though.
Yeah, today is not April's birthday.
Not yet.
That would be tomorrow. Hashtag says, look how happy Steel Toe gets when the pretty blonde girl shows up. Very romantic.
Do you get happy? Do you miss me when
I
I'm
feel
gone?
better. I feel like I'm lifting really heavy weight when you're not here doing the show.
Sure.
And then when you sit down to do the show, I feel like the weight got a lot lighter. You know?
Like I'm helping you with it?
Yeah, it feels
an assist, if you will.
Yeah, sure. I also notice I get very ranty when there's no one else here, but I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
You have to do
That's
the show on
when you should
your
do
own.
that.
Yeah. I did write down the Gene Simmons thing. I thought that was good.
Yeah, what an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I've seen him before. Their shows are fun.
All right, you got 53 minutes to decide. Khalyla, Quartering, Opie. That's a tough.
You didn't give me Khalyla earlier. I'll take her.
I forgot I had Khalyla.
I'll take her.
So you want Khalyla?
She is nasty.
Okay. I feel like we got to do Quartering tomorrow then. Opie can kind of hang around.
You know what the content is. You can tell me.
They said, hashtag, by the way, hashtag was not sure about this program earlier. He says, Steel Toe is a sweetheart. I like this show. All right. Some people saying try Gino again. Because
What's he doing?
Well, he's really fucked up. He was doing Chrissy's show
okay.
Earlier. Should we see?
That would explain the response I got to my text earlier.
$5 from Lemmy says, don't tell me what to do, Fred.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Lemmy.
Lemmy. All right, let's call this retard. Okay. He's probably passed out in the arms of his lady.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping.
Yeah. Aaron's fantasy is April humiliating him for another woman.
Humiliating you for a
Came
woman?
out of fucking nowhere, but thank you.
Like I'd be with another woman?
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Gino's an asshole.
Oh, I
doesn't want to be on the show.
I feel ragged tonight. I'm really sorry, guys.
Marquise with $5 says, happy birthday, April. Cheap plug for my YouTube streaming channel, Blackachew. Okay, well, subscribe to Blackachew. I didn't think I'd ever say that in this line of work, but
thank you.
Subscribe to Blackachew. Cody says, Gino is busy with gay shit. Okay. All right, fair enough.
That's okay, right?
Tyler says, hey, Aaron, curious if you will be doing a show Monday next week after Christmas. And are you going to do a show the Monday after New Year's? Curious because my work is off. I will still listen later. Yeah, neither of those 2 days are holidays, so, we're going to do a show. And I think you guys have already paid for those 2 shows.
New Year's Day is a holiday.
That's on a Sunday, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Really? I didn't think so. I thought this year it was on a Monday.
Nope. Hey, April, I've got something for you
No.
as a
Oh,
welcome as a welcome to the show. This is April's favorite guy. This is his YouTube channel is Guy with the Hair.
This is awful.
You don't like this guy?
No. I mean, I'll watch him for the goofs, but wow.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like every time I've talked to you about this guy, you always mention how talented he is, and
I don't know. He gives me serious, like, back in high school guy friend vibes where he, like, desperately needed to be with me, but I, like, tried too hard.
Oh, yeah.
I even got into it. I did this.
Yeah. By the way, to think that I'm just doing this to drive you guys nuts is incorrect. I get the cadence of this song stuck in my head all fucking week when I talk about this guy.
It's an earworm.
I'm doing this to obviously make April feel shitty and to make you guys feel shitty, but it also hits me as well. You know, it's like when Iron Man,
if you will.
when Iron Man did the snap, it killed him, but he, saved the world and destroyed Thanos. So Daniel with $10 says, congrats on the win Saturday. I knew my Colts would come through for you. Yeah, I really do appreciate that.
Dude, even Matt Ryan's wife was embarrassed.
As you should be. And he should retire.
She literally spoke out like saying, I'm so glad FIFA was on to distract me from his game.
He should be done at the end of the year, I think. All right, let's Guy with the Hair official. Let's this one's called the Today song. Would you like to take a listen?
I would. I'm feeling, rough today. I'd like him to pick me up.
If you would have said no, I wouldn't have played it. So, congratulations.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Today's all that you fucking have, so make the best of it. Don't worry about tomorrow or yesterday's bullshit.
By the way, this guy loves the word fuck.
He would fuck the word fuck if he could.
This guy, he's one of these guys who, he thinks it makes him edgy. He thinks it makes him sound badass when he says that word. I mean, he's one of these guys who slips it in where it doesn't belong. He'll slip it in between it and the. He's watch out. This guy's dangerous. You don't know when the F word's going to fly out of his crazy Jufro mouth.
He shoehorns it.
Yeah.
Live in the moment. Don't get pulled into the fucking drama, because chances are your haters are going to deal with a bitch called karma. Your next...
Too fast for me.
Again, you're right. This guy is in his late 30s, and he's doing high schooler shit.
Right. This feels very high school. Like he's trying really hard to get that pretty girl that he wants so bad, but she sees him trying so hard and it hurts her to look at
this guy brought an acoustic guitar to parties.
There was that, and I think he brought his acoustic guitar to ask some chick to prom, and she probably said no.
Yeah, and then he started pounding on tiles. She should have gone with me. She should have gone with me. She should have gone with me. And oh my God, I figured something out.
Yes.
And by the way, anyone who sits there and sings about, don't worry about the drama, these bitches will get their karma, those people are usually the most fucked up human beings on earth.
They've got the drama.
They've got the drama.
Breath could be your last, so make it fucking count. Because basking in every moment is what life's all about. Make today your time and place to get the shit you want. Focus on right now and not on bitchy little cunts.
Oh, two middle fingers.
And that's his goodbye. That's his little goodbye. Yeah, he gives you the two middle fingers and he goes out.
What a guy.
I've never seen a guy with so much hostility try to give you such a nice message.
He's got the nice big dick energy, don't you think?
I think he had one more, by the way. He made a Christmas one.
Oh.
Would you like to hear his Christmas song?
No, I guess.
Oh, well, if you'd have said no, I wouldn't have played it.
Do it for my birthday. Maybe it'll be good.
By the way, if you all aren't subscribing to this channel right now, I'm going to be very upset because this asshole has 53,000 subscribers.
I just saw that. That makes me ashamed to look at the camera right now.
I'd be upset if this guy had 53 subscribers, to be fully honest with you.
I feel like this guy's so uncool. How do you get that high?
It's not a cool crew. Is that what you're saying?
No, bro.
This guy doesn't have a cool crew.
This guy thinks he's a bro, though. He definitely calls himself that.
Do you think he could lay off the F word for his Christmas song?
No.
I hope he does.
I think he mixes the F word and Jesus quite a lot in this song.
God. He looks like the kind of guy who calls God, your imaginary friend in the sky, and he thinks that's hardcore.
Yes.
He calls Jesus Jeebus.
It's the first line of the song even. Look.
Oh, damn it.
You know he couldn't stop.
Merry fucking Christmas, here's a wish list you can make. Don't be a dick, be kind of shit, and don't be fucking fake.
Oh,
he really does have the high school sophomore checklist down.
I'm having flashbacks. I know the specific 2 guys in my school that did this shit to me, and it's really grinding my gears at the moment. Could
you imagine being this guy's age? Well, I am. Could you imagine being this guy's age and talking like this? Don't be fucking fake, bro.
I know I wouldn't be here. You'd lose
Every
me
Christmas season, it's so easy to spread love. Then by the first of the year, we're all back to being fucks.
I have a feeling this guy has had bad experiences with humans in the past.
I'm guessing every girl turned him down and he's just bitter now.
You don't think that look gets laid a lot?
He's a complete salt lick at this point.
I hope you fucking know what this shit's all about. It's not religion, gifts, or drinking until you black out. Cause whether you're into Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, or Yule, just be a decent human being and don't be a fucking tool.
Would you follow that advice, please?
Oh, God.
Oh, he didn't do the middle fingers, though, for Christmas.
He didn't do the middle fingers. He didn't do the heart.
You want to send this
He
to
didn't
someone?
even wave.
You want to send this one to someone sexy? This is his.
The hell?
You want to watch it? You want to see his game?
Oh, is there a sexy song?
You want to watch him court?
Yeah, I want to see if this one works on me.
All right.
You are sexy, oh my freaking motherfucking God. I love your eyes, your chin, your thighs, and your whole fucking bod.
Oh, this is the worst one yet.
Even before he started, his shirt's just kind of unbuttoned, you know?
Oh, this is the worst one.
I want to lick you, fucking kiss you, and everything. Then I want to get it on, if you know what I mean. You are so good looking, it should be so fucking illegal. To me, you are the sexy god of all the sexy people. So fucking hell, I had to tell you what you do to me.
Your face hurts me.
I want him arrested for this song. Like,
No,
I
this
feel
is bad.
This is some sort of sexual like assault kind of a thing. This
You know
song.
what? Anytime like you're kind of rubbing me the wrong way, I'm gonna send you this just to let you know how I feel about you.
Joke's on you. You'll have to clean the vomit out of the carpet.
I will too, because you don't do it right.
I win.
Just like a pizza, you make me so damn hot and ready.
Ew. Oh no. Oh.
If he's singing that song to a horse, it might be okay. But otherwise, no.
No, the horse curb stomps you for that.
Yes. Oh my God.
God, he really is the worst. I hate that you ever found him, kinda.
Well, you don't think he's good?
No, I just realized it tonight. He really does take me back to a place in like junior year.
Yeah.
Where it's like there was 2 or 3 guys that they were the friend zone guys, you know, on my behalf.
Yeah.
And they just needed to get out of it, and I wouldn't let them.
Buddy Travis says, "Why do you show this moron?" Because he's that bad. I like that kind of shit.
It's astonishing, really.
I really like how bad this guy is. How long have you been listening to this show? You should know that I love shit like this by now. Rusty Grammer with $2 says April's favorite Jew is still Goldman Sachs. It's a little callback for you.
Thank you.
Alex,
untrue.
Alex Bernal with $5 says, Marquise, you should stream your channel Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. and Monday through Wednesday, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Time, of course. What a dick. David Chandler with $19.99.
Thank you.
He says, as a crafter of humorous limericks, this guy offends my soul.
Isn't it gross?
David, show him how it's done, man.
He's like abrasive to my soul.
Oh,
really bad.
Yeah, they're saying tiny dick confirmed.
Yeah.
Six String Man's right. Every single line cringier than the last.
I do worry that like some girl had said yes to him at one point in his life and found out he had a tiny dick and kind of told all her friends about it. And maybe that's why he's so salty and uses the F word so much.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Brittany Martini says, my 5-year-old makes up better songs. I'd believe it. Trucker 18-wheeler with $10 says he's got a birthday song.
Aww.
Oh, shit. April tomorrow.
No, for part of your show prep for tomorrow night's my birthday evening show, you know, you could do like find the worst birthday songs on the internet and play them for me.
I like that. TNK, the neighbor's kid, says, Aaron, why are you doing this to us? I can't stop.
It's kind of how I felt.
There's nothing I can do to stop it. It's something ingrained in me. I enjoy that kind of shit.
I got home safe for you, and that's what you welcome me with.
It was by design, too. It was by design.
Maybe I should walk.
What did Gary Crouch say? People are saying, wait until tomorrow, Gary Crouch. Oh, I didn't see it.
What
Damn
happened?
Fred says, Gary Crouch, wait till you see what happens tomorrow.
Fred.
Oh, he says, this is definitely not a Fred Chandler production. Quadruple H says, I want Chad to steal his credit cards.
Do you think that guy has credit cards?
No, I think that's his mom's house.
I think that's his mom's house. Pretty sure.
Hashtag says, go back to the pretty blonde girl talking about her guy friend zone.
Oof.
You didn't fuck that one in a barley field?
No.
Like
I
then.
defiled a child once.
Jesus.
That has to go.
So now, so you friend zoned the guy?
There was like, I had a very tight-knit group of friends, much like you did. You know, I can picture the same situation happening. And there was 2 of my guy friends that were like best friends with each other, but both desperately wanted to go out with me, but like didn't talk to each other about it. And I don't find either of them attractive. I don't find any of that.
But let me guess, you led them both on because you didn't want to be mean.
I was very like out front and said, no, I don't like you like that several times. And like there would be the attempted kisses where you have to push them away and be like, no, dude, not happening type of situation. And it's really uncomfortable.
Stop.
I don't like that.
This is to all women. Then stop being friends with these
They're just
people.
in the circle. Like, I'm not hanging out with just
so it's
them,
like
dummy.
high school.
It's like I walk into the other room to go get a drink and they follow you.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
that's a clinger. That's like a stage
problem.
1 clinger.
Yeah, women have this idea that they can be friends with guys. Stop it. The guy wants to fuck you.
If you think I would go hang out with somebody like that alone, you're crazy.
If you don't want to fuck the guy, do not hang out with him. If you don't want to fuck the guy, don't go anywhere with him. I know you think it can be platonic, but that is a one-way street, I am telling you.
No kidding.
That is a one-way street. As a guy who has befriended, or as a guy who's wanted to fuck every girl and, would hang out with them in a friendly manner because I'm like, all right, we're building up the points here and we're going to cash in,
Sure.
That, by the way, that approach does not work very well.
No, it does not.
Never go with the...
Don't cash in your chips.
Yeah, never go with the building up points, socially hanging out with someone. It's got to go like date right off the bat and just let them know your intentions.
Because as us girls go, like once you have hung out with said dude for quite a long time, we don't really see you as the boyfriend material.
Right. And guys, another thing you have to remember, women are socially retarded. And they don't pick up on cues.
Wow.
Well, you are. I mean, you don't pick up on cues that guys want to fuck you. You guys just go, oh, I'm just so much fun to hang out with. He must just want to be around me. None of you are that much fun to hang out with.
Does that make us socially retarded or both of us socially retarded because you now think that you've got it going on, although we're not giving into it?
Only one of us knows what we're doing.
Not always. Sometimes we're put in a really uncomfortable position where it's like, no, guys, we're all around each other a lot. We're all friends. Don't put me in that position. So you try to just pretend it's not happening because you don't want to be in that position to have to tell them no.
You're pretending it's not happening.
That doesn't mean I don't know it's not happening.
That doesn't mean it's not happening, though. You're saying the same thing I am.
You're putting me in a shitty position now.
No, I'm not.
If you're that friend.
Be mean and tell them to fuck off.
I have done that. I have done that plenty of times.
Boy, then you got some weirdo, creepy stalker guys.
What do you think we have for options in Litchfield?
That's true.
Stop blaming them. They were doing their best.
I am blaming them. I got friend zoned hard in high school. In hindsight, I lucked out. She was nuts. Or is that just what you tell yourself? Brittany says,
right to feel better.
Brittany says, all of my friends are guys. Yeah, they all want to fuck you.
A lot of people say that, though. Like,
those women.
You and I know some other ladies in this steel toe circle that always say that.
I got bad news about every time a woman says, "Oh, my friends are guys." You know what guys do? They look at her and they go, "Oh, you don't even fucking know."
No, I get it.
They just go, "Oh, you're just dumb." Because they're like, "Oh yeah, aren't they just like the guys?" Like, no, they only keep you around because most of them want to fuck you. They're not. You know, all these women were like, "All my friends are guys. I just must be a treat to hang out with." No, they think you're fun. And they want to fuck you. That's
right. You're not unbearable for them.
Right.
Plus, they want to get their dick wet.
Kind of the way it goes. It's mostly the wanting to get their dick wet thing. Grinch Girl says, wish you would have told me that 2 years ago. Had to learn it the hard way. Look, if you would just listen to guys. Here's the problem women have with taking advice from guys. We're very blunt. We're very forceful. We're very opinionated. We're very direct. Women don't like the message delivered that way. They want the medicine pill put inside like some cheese curds or some ice cream. They want it spoon-fed to them nicely instead of going...
Roll the brownie around it.
Instead of going, here's your fucking castor oil. Now drink it, you fuck.
Castor oil?
Castor oil. Castor oil. Whatever they
castor oil?
Castor oil, not Castro. He was the guy in Cuba.
I would have to say I don't want to eat castor oil.
And it wasn't Castrol. That's like
Castrol?
motor oil.
What
right?
is wrong with you?
That's the wrong one. Castor oil. You're a farm kid. You know that shit.
It's castor oil.
That's from like the 50s.
You know, you do the wrong shit with castor beans, you can kill someone.
Is that the ricin one?
I want to look into that kind of, but
No,
I feel like
no,
if you,
YouTube,
if you were to
YouTube,
Google
she's
that,
fucking
No, I
kidding.
don't mean like killing someone. I want to know what the association is. Like, why can you use castor beans for some things like naturally and other forms kill people?
Ask
No, I don't
Walter
want
White.
to kill people. What is wrong with you?
Loaded Wrench says, we guys don't take hints, even the fuck off hint.
See,
Yes.
that's kind of where I landed. It's like, okay, they're clearly not getting the hint until I just go away.
Some of us can get a little Pepe Le Pew-ish.
And that's what
If I
I'm
were.
talking about. So don't call us all women retarded. I can see what's happening. I've said the thing.
Two things can be true at the same time. Women can fool themselves into thinking guys think they're fun.
No, it literally would get to a point where it was just, that's a guy in the friend group. So the friend group's always together. And as soon as I go off to go to a bathroom or get a drink or go get food.
They follow you into
they
the bathroom?
Well, no, they just follow you.
Oh.
And then like conveniently end up in your path on the way back.
Hulkamasha Baby says, can confirm every girl I hung out with, I wanted to or did bang. Exactly.
At least you got some of them.
You want to hear a noble gentleman thing I did? I was hanging out at this house. My friends and I would all hang out at this house in St. Cloud that was all girls. And they were all pretty good looking.
Wow.
Like to varying degrees.
Okay.
And I would just kind of like, I would have taken it from any one of them that, threw a little, stupid, gross, drunk pussy at me. But one of them, I was, it was going pretty well on a Saturday night. And then on Sunday, they called me and said, hey, do you want to come out and go watch the football games at MC's or whatever?
Sounds good.
And I'm thinking, it's going to be a group of us, whatever. We'll see. I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine. It was just her and I. She wanted to go watch the football games with your boy. Well, the problem is your boy, back then, 21, or I think I was 21, didn't pick up on, signs that a girl would give you.
She's not going to invite just you out somewhere, dummy.
Aaron didn't get that.
That's the first glaring, runway lights sign.
By the time Aaron realized that this young lady maybe wanted to find out the way my dick tastes, I had let her get far too intoxicated.
Oh, did she puke on you?
No.
That's I've been there before. Some guy puked on me.
We
once.
went to her room, and listen to what a gentleman I am. I realized she was in no state to do anything, and that I could have ended up with some kind of problem on my hands. Some kind of problem on my hands. I put her in the bed.
You just stared at her a little bit.
No.
He's fondling. Like,
again,
I could,
I didn't realize that the two of us had something going there. And
did you finger your butt a little bit?
No, listen, we both got too drunk. I couldn't pull it back. By the time I knew something was going on, I couldn't reel it in. And so I go to bed, and when I wake up, I slept on like a beanbag chair thing in her room.
I was going to say you could have just laid next to her. You've both got clothes on.
But when I woke up in the morning, she had a giant piss stain all over the bed. She pissed herself. She was so shit-faced.
Oh, my God.
And did I get another chance at it? No, because after that, she said, I have to quit drinking. It's becoming a problem. So this woman...
Well, I'm having a problem with this story.
Okay.
I very much feel like I've been told this exact same story by your best friend.
What do you mean?
Like it happened to him, but it's the identical story. I'm just now realizing.
The Tinder date woman?
No. I feel like you two are sharing a story now.
Which story?
The one you're telling.
Oh, no, this is my story. He was nowhere near.
Sure?
He was nowhere near this story. No. Wait,
Seems
hold on.
strange.
Which friend? No.
I know about the other Tinder one.
No, he didn't hang out with this group of people. No, this
Seems
was
sus.
This was a totally different group of
know.
people. But this was like the third. This is really bad for me. This is the third chick I either dated or almost fucked that after an encounter of drinking and any kind of sexual contact with me, they decided they needed to quit drinking and turn their life around. I had a girlfriend when I was about 20. This is about 21 as well. And after I broke up with her, like 6-7 years later, she was like in AA and is now like a, born again and like no longer an alcoholic. And then the one I dated right after her, I broke up with her the day before Valentine's Day because I was in radio and like 22 and too broke to get her a good gift. So I broke up with her. And what?
God.
What? I had a bear.
I married a real fucking chump over here.
So after I break up with her, it was literally, I'm going to go a year and a half. And she was also like the big Facebook post back in the day. That's what you do. This is like 13 years ago.
What do you mean?
The big, well, I've been drinking for too long and blah, blah, blah.
Just like
and
kind of like a life update post.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there was first the girl in college that pissed the bed. Then there was the girl I dated. Then there was the next girl I dated. They all, after some kind of encounter with me and drinking, decided that was too much drinking and they need to turn their life around. I was I was the good luck Chuck of alcoholism.
I was just going to make that comparison. Like they all had better lives after you.
Yes. Well, no, it got bad for a while.
Oh, no. Oh, well, then you're bad luck, Aaron.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're the
because
opposite of good
it
luck,
was
Chuck.
right after they were done.
I thought
with
you
me.
were kind of saying that once they got with you, they're like, wow, I've hit rock bottom. Like, look what, look what I'm doing.
One of them, the one that pissed the bed, yes. But the other two, it took years.
Okay.
So
it's not necessarily your fault.
But I didn't help.
What does that say for my future? I don't know.
You don't drink too much.
No, if anything.
I would like some of your water, though. Go ahead.
I feel like when we first started dating, you and I both drank like a lot.
Wow.
Remember when we used to go out to the lake and stuff? Those are some pretty heavy weekends. And then we really don't do that ever.
Yeah.
Like the most we drink is like a few beers tops, like 3.
I do feel like that was a very gentlemanly move of me, however, to not make a move on old pissy pants.
Look, I've never had a guy like piss the bed on me or anything, but I have had a guy like that couldn't control the amount he drank, so he like would puke on himself on occasion. And like I'd have to clean it up, like help him clean it up and like get his act together because it wasn't time to leave the event yet.
Oh.
If that meant or means anything, like I was a real fucking trooper. I always have been.
Wow. So you had to help pick up the puke.
I really am too good to people. I saw somebody say that my body count's over 20. It so is not.
Women should wear their body count on their heads.
I'm like a virgin compared to that number, really.
K Fallen the Great says, that's funny. All the women I fucked with hit the bottom and stayed there. Wow. I saw one of...
So wait, is that the best you ever had?
I saw one of mine recently, and the alcoholism, like, really...
You saw one?
Like, they're recovered. No, like, I was scrolling through, I don't know if it was Twitter or Facebook.
I don't have any of my
And they were
exes.
just through there. I didn't date her for very long. It was like 2 months.
Okay.
Maybe. But yeah, she's clean now, but oh man, she's my age. I think she's like 34, 35, she's like my age. And no kids or anything, but still looks like 45.
That's not good.
The alcohol, I think not only does the alcohol age you, but then trying to get off of it ages you as well.
I think I've only seen one of my exes recently, and it was a guy I never slept with. And like it was because his sister got married, and I saw pictures of him. He looks identical. I actually felt kind of good about that. I'm like, good for you.
Von Kaiser says, Aaron's women are my kind of gals. Attaboy.
Oh, my God.
Rude's Ghost says, Aaron...
Bed pissers? Yeah. I have never done anything of that nature, at least. I've never pissed a bed or shit in one.
I did kiss a girl once at a party. And then she like started passing out, and I just left her there. I'm like, nope, absolutely not.
You were kissing a girl, and she just started passing out.
She started like
kissing
nodding
her?
out, and I'm like, I'm done. And she's like, no, we can't go. I'm like, no.
Oh boy, you must have been a boring makeout
I was
session.
like 19. No, she was fucked up. But I was like,
that's what he says to make himself feel
I was
better.
like 19, and then my buddy. Hold on a second. My buddy. We go upstairs later, and he is making out with her passed out body.
No.
And 2 girls that I walked up with, hold on, was one of them. And she goes, no, it wasn't her. I'm saying she's one of the girls I was walking upstairs with.
That made me feel so bad for her.
No.
Okay.
And they just yelled at him. Let's say his name is Andy. It's not, but Andy, you stop that right now.
It's like yelling at a dog. Stop licking that thing.
And then she like came to, and we were going to walk to somebody else's house to another party. And this girl, she comes to me and she's like, you walk with me? Cause like Schumann's creepy. And I woke up and he was, oh shit. I'm sorry. It's not his name. She goes, she goes,
you're so pretty.
She goes, he's creepy and he was kissing me when I was like waking up. And like I told her, I'm like, you do know that we were making out as you started passing out. She's like, I don't remember that. I'm like, fuck, great, wonderful. Well, anyway.
So did she also have like a reckoning and realize that she needed to quit drinking?
You know what? I think she was like, oh, you know what? She was a Totino Grace kid. I think she was. I think she had just graduated high school. We were 1 year out of high school. She was a year younger than us, so I think she was 18.
Yeah.
So, no, she wasn't old enough to realize that she was a fucking lush yet. You know, that's when it was still okay.
Look, that's never happened to me where I'm like passing out drunk. I never did that. I always somehow was like really with myself when I was drunk. Like I didn't forget things very much. But I've had to protect other girlfriends from being in that same position where some guy's macking on her and she can't like understand what's going on.
I did start.
I'm like, no, we're gonna go home.
I did start day drinking once with a girl who was a friend of mine.
Oh, a friend.
And we went upstairs and like I don't know how much of this story you want to hear. I was like 19 or 20.
Care.
Okay. We went upstairs and like we were like friends like.
Oh, you can't be friends though, remember?
I never.
Haven't you ever watched When Harry Met Sally?
It was like your friends you were talking about. We ran in the same circles.
Yeah.
So it was
it's kind of like that 70s
buddies
show. Like it's a group.
So like we were just day drinking together, waiting for my buddy and his girlfriend to get to her house. Like we were just meeting. We were all meeting there.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going upstairs and we'd been drinking vodka or whatever. I don't know. And just shit starts happening. This is embarrassing.
Did you piss?
I start going down on her, and I'm like, I fucking got this. I want to get a little nooner in here before my buddy gets home.
Everyone loves a nooner.
I heard her snore. She fucking passed out while I was
downtown.
Yeah.
Oh, that
dude.
Wow.
And I've always been like I said, I've always been terrified of shit like that. So I like woke her up.
Oh, I know.
And then I'm like, I'm sorry. We were going, and then she was like, oh, we were, and I'm like, oh fuck, blah. And like I talked to her. I'm like, this is what happened. I fucking stopped because like her fucking pants are down and shit. Oh my God, I've never been more terrified in my life. Never been more scared in my life. Then like she's like, oh no, it's fine. And this made me feel weird.
I've never fallen asleep on a guy before.
But this made me feel like she was kind of skanky, and this had happened a lot before. Because then she goes, because I felt really bad.
Was she totally cool with it?
I went downstairs because the other two were home, and I didn't want them to think. Yeah, I didn't want them to think anything was going on.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs, and I texted her while I was down there. I'm like, I'm really sorry. That's fucked up. I stopped immediately, and she goes, oh, don't worry. We're friends. It happens. And I'm like, oh, come on. No.
That means she'd made the rounds already.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
Jesus.
I've never fallen asleep on a dude when he's down there, like in any capacity. That seems so weird.
We had been drinking.
I've been drinking before.
Quite a bit.
I'm just saying, like.
I don't think I would have been able to perform.
I can understand, like, if two people are like so drunk they're not able to perform together, and then you just kind of end up being drunk and gay, and you're just like, we can't do this. Why don't we try in the morning? But like, I've never fallen asleep on a dude before we decided let's wait till morning.
Cerberus with $10 says, I remember when the designated driver, when my friends and I went to parties, one of them inevitably was going to vomit on the ride home. Usually my buddy's girlfriend, she could not hold her liquor.
Yeah, Cerberus, message me again. I can't find you.
Let's go to, let's see what the audience thinks about this one. I'm seeing a lot of laughy face emojis.
Yeah.
She would have remembered if he was actually putting in that work, though. Says,
see, that kind of sketches me out because I get that you've been drinking, but like I said, most girls don't fall asleep for that shit. So.
RGZ Max says April is so pissed right now.
What says I'm pissed, buddy? I think it's okay.
You fucking mad.
I think we've both had sex before we met each other.
If she can tell the barley field story, I can tell my passing out stories.
I defiled a child. Okay, I actually kind of don't want that out there.
Paul Polito says Aaron gives shithead confirmed. How fucking dare you?
Well,
old tongue feather Aaron.
girls shouldn't be falling asleep for that.
She was almost passed out when we went up to her room.
That's not something I'd be admitting.
I was on borrowed time. We
Yeah,
both were.
That's when you, like I said, I've had that talk with guys before where it's like, we're too drunk, let's do this in the morning. That's what you do. Wait till later.
No, guys, that guy was not there. Let's just stop saying his name. I fucked up. My bad. Aaron chloroform tongue Imholt, they're saying. Oh, boy.
That's very funny.
This isn't going very well.
Does this make you sleepy?
It tickles. Oh,
it's like puss tickles. Like this.
Yeah.
You know how Aaron likes back tickles to go to bed? That chick was into puss tickles.
Alex Bernal says, I've passed out cowgirl position in the shower.
How do you do that? That's almost impressive. I feel like that is such an involved position. You can't fall asleep.
Oh, really? We're not going to talk about this? Do you happen to remember a certain thing you did in the old camper?
That's not me falling asleep, buddy.
I passed out.
Wow, thank you very much for this.
I passed out drunk.
You said I could. You gave me permission beforehand because you said you were drunk and you felt bad.
As I'm passed out, April.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
April takes care of it and goes, all the way to Pleasure Town. And I came to as she was coming to.
But I was not sleeping.
I was like, I was asleep for that.
You also said that you felt bad because you were tired and drunk.
And then
you gave me permission.
And then you felt like a rapist.
Only because you made me feel like that way, the way you talked.
Oh, now Raz of Chaz
You're
is
so mean.
Now Raz of Chaz is calling me tongue piggy. That's okay.
Did you snort at it?
I was rooting around.
Oh, he was rooting.
The 495 Marauder says, I've passed out with chicks riding me. Right, it happens. You get
That's
comfy.
Very weird. See,
your head's on a pillow.
But what I'm saying is I think that chick said that she passed out cowgirl position in the shower. And I'm like, how can you do that?
Is there anything better than being really drunk?
Best dream ever.
Is there anything better than being really drunk and your head hits a pillow and you're out?
And you just got puss on top of you?
You got puss and you just pass out pussed. Oh, shit.
Bravo to your dick, though. Don't those usually go to sleep when you do?
Mine didn't. Mine was like, you know how like after they behead someone, you can still see and hear for like 5 minutes? That's my dick.
No, it's the chicken that gets his head cut off and
that's
keeps
humans.
running.
That's humans, too.
Humans don't keep running.
No.
when
Their
your head's
head
cut
can
off.
still hear and see for like, I think 2 minutes or something like that after you're beheaded. There's enough blood in there.
I feel
Keep
bad
you
for
going.
Sean Bean now.
Yeah. And Robespierre.
God damn it. Do you see what you've done here now?
April is on the offenders list, says Andrew
God.
Zodiac. Why did April even want to if he was asleep? Well, no, I wasn't asleep when we started.
I think you had promised
Was
me.
April pretending he was a child?
Don't ever say that. See, that drop's got to go. I have not ever had like that kind of sex, okay?
Buddy Travis says, I have to have my feet on the ground so I know where down is.
Wait. What?
Oh, they're saying it's about 10 seconds, bruh. 5 seconds, not 5 minutes. I always thought it was like 2 minutes you got. All right,
What are you talking about?
10 to 30 seconds. Getting your head cut off, and you can still see and hear.
Oh, I was thinking about the rootin' stuff.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Big Wrench says, I've been gone 6 months. This show hasn't changed a bit. You're fucking welcome, Big Wrench. You're welcome.
I don't appreciate how much my personal life gets outed here. I think previous stuff is okay.
How long
But not the current.
can you see after being beheaded? There's like a video on this.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see that.
How long can you survive being decapitated?
You can't survive. That's a fucking lie.
Decapitation, one of the worst ways to die.
How long does a severed head remain conscious? That sounds legit.
All right, let's do this one. Joe Scott.
Do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds? Thanks to the
We're going to the middle.
always innovators in human suffering, improved on the design in World War II, making it basically a giant cigar cutter with a very short span for it to fall so that they can just pump people through for the most maximum human carnage possible.
Okay.
So as long as there's been beheadings, there's been the question of whether or not you actually remain conscious after that happens, something called lucid decapitation.
I hope not.
I feel
Oh
like
my
you
God.
would because it's too abrupt of a thing. There's nothing in your neck that would stop your consciousness. The
Except
blood
for
would
blood
have
flow.
But the blood would have to run out. That's going
I
to
think
take some time.
Once it runs out, though, I don't like that, though. Like, he just said lucid consciousness. Dude, this is something fucked up about me. I lucid dream all the time. And that alone to me is so scary. So now imagine you lost your body.
Yeah.
I don't want to be awake for that. I don't want to remember it.
And the only reason you can't like react is because they severed your vocal cords. Otherwise, fuck!
Participants in the crowds during the French Revolution reported
Wrong.
seeing the heads
You're wrong. No
blinking
lungs.
and making expressions, and physicians at the time were beginning to get a better idea of the physiology
Ew, does this virgin have Thor's hammer behind him? Oh.
of the body and the circulatory system, and they began to understand that consciousness would not just go away immediately. It would take a little bit of time for the blood to drain out of the brain. The question is, how long? There were stories of prisoners being asked to blink for as long as possible after the decapitation just to see how long that would last. And there were reports of that going on for up to 30 seconds, but they also didn't know for sure if that was a conscious thing that the person was doing or just some kind of death spasm. One of the most well-documented cases.
Oh.
Think
'Cause they
about that.
can't
You'll
talk,
never
yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's not like you can say touch your ear.
Blink twice if that hurt.
Yeah.
This was from a doctor named Dr. Bureau, who experimented with a condemned man named Henri Languille on his execution. This was on June 28th of 1905, and the doctor recorded what happened in his journal. I'm just going to read this for you. Here then is what I was able to note immediately after the decapitation. The eyelids and lips of the guillotined man worked in irregularly rhythmic contractions for about 5 or 6 seconds. This phenomenon has been remarked by all those finding themselves in the same conditions as myself for observing what happens after the severing of the neck. I waited for several seconds. The spasmodic movement ceased. It was then that I called in a strong, sharp voice, "Languille!" I saw the eyelids slowly lift up without any
Ew.
spasmodic contractions. I insist advisedly on this peculiarity, but with an even movement, quite distinct and normal, such as happens in everyday life, with people awakened or torn from their thoughts.
Oh, so he called the guy's name and the guy's eyes opened.
That's kind of like being in a lucid dream then. You're
Oh.
probably right. That's really gross.
Next, Languille's eye...
We don't have to improve on bullet to the head, do we? Like, isn't that just quick and done?
Yeah. I agree. And like, can you imagine being somebody who does this study? Like, you're talking to this guy before he gets guillotined.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, buddy, I'm going to,
I'm just going to rap with you for a little bit.
You've got to make sure you've got the head turned the right way, too, so that you can watch if it's blinking.
Best way to die and just go? The way Cyrus the Virus went in Con Air, the hydraulic press, just right on the head.
Oh, God, no. I don't want to go that way.
Why?
What if you can feel it coming down on you? Nope. No thanks.
No. His came down from way high up. It was like, yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't watch it. that
Oh,
close.
yeah. It was like a stamping, like, bang.
So your head just explodes like a watermelon?
Like Gallagher
Ugh.
smashing a watermelon.
Oh.
I think that would be the best way to go.
I feel like just, go on my sleep.
At 80, with a belly full of wine and a girl's mouth around my cock.
Yeah.
That's the...
Eyes very definitely fixed themselves on mine, and the pupils focused themselves. I was not then dealing with the sort of vague, dull look without any expression that can be observed any day in dying people to whom one speaks. I was dealing with an undeniably living eyes which were looking at me. After several seconds, the eyelids closed again. It was at that point that I called out again, and once more, without any spasm, slowly the eyelids lifted, and undeniably living eyes fixed themselves on mine with perhaps even more penetration than the first time. Then there was further closing of the eyelids, but now less complete. I attempted the effect of a third call. There was no further movement, and the eyes took on the glazed look which they have in the dead.
Okay, so the blood just...
He looks too happy about
As the
this.
blood ran from his head, he was able to do less and less.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that thought.
Yeah!
Oh.
So it looks like, by all accounts, you remain conscious for about 30 seconds. So after that guillotine falls and you feel...
Longest 30 seconds ever.
What do you do with it? It's not like your body hurts.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, oh, play some cribbage tomorrow. Like, just try to think normal thoughts.
No, God, I could never. I'm having trouble thinking about it sitting here
And
because
you
I
can't
don't
scream.
I don't like the feeling when I lucid dream, I can like see shit going on and I need to tell someone something. I can never talk. I don't like the thought of not being able to tell somebody I need help. You know, like that sounds like my worst nightmare.
Cut my head off from like a high distance, so after you cut it off, it hits the ground and I go unconscious.
Why don't people just, this is going to sound really bad. Look, if you're going to guillotine somebody though and you want it to be over, why not like cut their like actual head in half instead of just lopping it off?
What if you get like, you miss the parts of the brain that you need and you end up with a Phineas Gage type of thing where now you've got a fucking weirdo for the next 5 years?
I don't know.
Feel that cold metal against your neck. The ground will rush towards you. You'll hit the floor with the force of a slowly thrown baseball, either on your forehead or your nose or your chin, depending on the cut. Blood will fill your nasal cavities, but you can't blow it out.
God,
You'll be in some state of shock as the world spins around and finally comes to a rest, but you won't feel the blood pumping through your ears.
Oh my God.
And then you'll just sit there, waiting for a long period of time as the tunnel vision sets in.
There you go. Well, now, that's how long it would take.
I don't feel good after that.
Yeah, you just, look, there's a way to avoid this. Don't end up in a situation where you get your head cut off.
Can you imagine the blood like filling your nose and stuff? I can imagine like it'd feel like kind of like you're suffocating.
I mean, really?
Like, so now you're bodiless and you're drowning.
30 seconds, though. I mean, it will end.
Yeah,
So
after
that.
an eternity.
A fucking terrible way to die. And imagine that when they invented that way to die, they were like, oh, a nice humane way to kill somebody. It's like, what's in the neck that kills you right away? There's nothing in the neck that ends it for you immediately.
Also, like, think about, like, we just watched Sean Bean get beheaded the other night. But
Not in real life. Sean Bean. But guys, Sean Bean is still alive.
Okay,
as far as I know.
Ned Stark. How's that? The character.
Yes, Eddard Stark of Winterfell.
He got beheaded. And think about that. If that wasn't a guillotine, that was an actual sword. What if you feel the sword make contact and then that 30 seconds kicks in? Like, what if you feel it go through because it's slower?
That might be shock, though. Who knows?
That would be so much slower than a guillotine, though.
David Chandler with $49.99 says, there once was man called Loaf Piggy. With girls, he tries to get jiggy. He licks and he laps, then they take a nap, leaves them hypnotized like Biggie. Thank you.
That's incredible.
Very nice
I actually
of you.
kind of want you to send that to me, David,
It's
please.
sweet of you, David.
I had to turn down a very lovely gesture from him today. I was too bashful.
You could go bowling with it, says legendary side effect.
What are okay, if that's what you're using for the ball, what's the pins?
Other people's heads.
And where do you put your fingers? You need 3 fingers.
No,
Eye
nasal
sockets,
cavity and mouth.
Eye sockets and mouth, I think.
Okay, fair enough.
And no, that'd have to be big hands.
George says, Phineas Gage's head is at my college museum. Yeah, Phineas Gage is a fucked up story. He took a railroad spike right through the head and lived.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, and he was just kind of a psycho. But, like, lived
Can we
the
read
rest of
about
his
him
life.
again? Maybe some people don't know him. We're on the topic.
We'll clear
this
out.
is fun.
We'll clear out the chat here. Then we got 8 minutes, and we got to do Khalyla. You wanted to do Khalyla tonight.
I like railroad spikes.
I'm sure you do, Panama Red. Creepy, can you go back to the inappropriate sex story? Oh, yeah, some people we've really grossed out with the beheading thing. Fred says, gotta go. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. My Amex is going to have flames on it when I'm done. Well, don't.
Fred, you embarrass me.
Fred, thank you very much,
Thank you,
buddy. I
though.
appreciate it.
Well, howdy, Fred.
Exactly. Steven Tyler thinks all Metallica songs sound the same. In his autobiography, Does the Noise in My Head Bother You?, Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler got on the defensive about always changing up the Aerosmith formula. Even though he maintained that Aerosmith liked to reach for new sounds on every record, he also felt the need to drag Metallica through the mud, saying, quote, you can't put your finger on what we do because we do a lot of different kinds of music, unlike Metallica, which does only one genre. Have you ever heard a slow Metallica song?
Yes.
Is there one that you could dance to at prom?
Yes.
No.
Nothing else matters.
No, it's still
That's
too...
a very slow song.
Yeah, but it's too, like, hard. You can't... It's not a romantic song where you dance to it.
It is romantic.
There's
That
still,
is-
like, heavy guitar.
I
and
will
shit.
expose my parents a little bit. My parents' song, like their song, is Nothing Else Matters. Has been their entire relationship.
Have you ever heard a
For
slow
30
Metallica
years.
song? Is there one that you could dance to at prom? If you asked them, they'd go, why would we? Then again, Metallica does have its fair share of slow songs, like Nothing Else Matters and Until It Sleeps. And let's not forget The Load and Saint Anger. Well, can we?
I can't forget The Load.
Both of which went in new directions that most of us weren't ready for. But I think that's what Steven Tyler's trying to say, is that Aerosmith reached and like did different shit all the time. And like when Metallica tried to, it didn't work. He is right in that regard. Like Aerosmith is a more versatile band than Metallica.
I think that's kind of a shitty thing to say though, because they're nothing alike. So why would you compare yourself to them?
That's his point though.
Why bring it up though?
His point is they're not, well.
That's like comparing yourself to Ed Sheeran if you're him. Like it makes no sense.
He's taking like a rock band like theirs that evolved through time and did different shit. And then Metallica, which had their original like 6-7 year run and then were kind of shit after that.
Sure.
And he's like, look, we were hot in the 80s or hot in the 70s, then came back in the 80s, then came back in the 90s, then came back in the mid 2000s, and then, now they're just touring around doing their thing.
I just think it's really weird for one artist to compare themselves to somebody who's absolutely nothing like them. And like their bands obviously had different journeys, if you will. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's definitely probably some kind of professional jealousy there. That's for sure.
Kind of where I'm getting at.
Although
both very, very successful bands.
Right.
So,
I don't understand why Aerosmith would have to be jealous of Metallica. I bet you if we looked it up, Aerosmith sold way more records than they have.
I don't know anything about record sales, but I think they were both like monstrously successful. So I don't understand the
Aerosmith
jealousy either.
Record sales. Over 150 million albums sold.
See, that's
I bet you Metallica's got like
respectable.
75 million. 125.
Very
so,
comparable.
If you're Aerosmith, you don't really have to,
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think that's what I'm kind of saying is I don't know why that was necessary for you to, as Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, to like compare yourself to Metallica.
I see what he's doing though. Like they're beneath them, but they're like just beneath them.
Barely.
So he's doing this. Like,
he's making sure they stay down there.
Yeah. Here's Aerosmith. Here's Metallica, and he's going, fuck these guys. They're like here. We're here. I understand what he's doing. He's also like 75, so he's probably a little crotchety.
And I think they still perform, though. He was just performing in Vegas not long ago.
No, they still go.
He actually had to cancel that because he got sick, though.
They still go. I wonder, though, if Metallica's sold more tour tickets than... No, because Aerosmith's been around longer.
Right.
Metallica live ticket sales. Oh, no, they wouldn't. Okay. Metallica. Total live ticket sales? No. Oh, here we go. Metallica were ranked 6 on tickets sold with a whopping 19,468,173.
I'd like to see.
You know who's I'm going to call right now who's number 1.
Rolling Stones?
U2.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah.
I bet
the
U2
ones
is...
breaking in MSG sphere.
Springsteen? Springsteen might be number 1.
I think the Rolling Stones are in there somewhere.
These are just metal bands who are 5 bands that sold
to see
more tickets than Metallica. Where's the fucking list you promised me?
Who topped them for metal bands then?
Here we go. Commemorate. Metallica ranked 6 based on tickets sold. U2, Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, God, no.
Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, and the E Street Band, and Elton John were the 5 artists that sold more in that order. So
we were both right.
U2's number 1.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews Band is number 2. And then, God, I'm fine with all of those except for Dave Matthews Band.
I would agree with you.
That really bothers me.
Who can we replace them with?
Boy, God, I don't know. Billy Joel?
Meatloaf.
I don't think Meatloaf is anywhere near that list.
The Beatles.
Yeah, I don't. Where's the link here that shows this? Oh, other rock and metal artists in the top 50 include Bon Jovi, The Eagles, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Kiss, Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, Journey, Fish, Motley Crue, and Rush. Yeah.
Fish?
The gays that love that jam band shit, they travel far and wide for that horse shit.
I would have never expected that to be there.
Yeah.
What the hell? I would have agreed with all of that except for Fish. I am actually... Did they throw that in there as a goof?
No, like...
Are they goofing?
Those jam band mess, as Unknown Hinson would call it, they'll go into like soccer fields and like 100,000 people at a clip will go in there and listen to them noodle around on their guitar for an hour and a half. It's fucking stupid, man.
I don't prefer guitar noodling.
Eric W. says fish is awesome. See?
I don't know. Like, to me, they're so unknown. I would have never put them in there. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I know every other band.
They've got a
but
huge
them.
following. I do know that they've got a huge
You know
following.
what? Just out of respect for them, I'm going to look into them and see if I maybe know more of them than I thought I did.
You don't.
Yeah,
You don't.
It just seems out of place.
Hey, last night was the beginning of Hanukkah. Tell me what you see. Don't look. Don't look.
It's a little too late.
You guys, last night was the first night of Hanukkah. I want to show you guys the New York Times crossword puzzle, and you go ahead and tell me what you see.
Can I look now?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Like, it's obviously a swastika.
What? No, I don't see it.
Okay, what is this one of them? Like,
I was going to make the listeners guess it before you gave it away. But
oh, do you have to wait?
yeah. I didn't know.
Is this like one of those things where it's like a Rorschach test and whatever you see first is what's fucked up about you and it's supposed to be like a poodle?
I'll be honest, if they wouldn't have said it in the title of this article, I wouldn't have seen it just by looking at it. And
okay.
I'm a guy who picks up on that shit pretty quick.
I'll humor you for a second. What did you see? Because
I just see a crossword puzzle. I see like diagonal lines everywhere.
I very clearly, like, everything to me is so put together. That's
Is it tilted
like,
on its side a little?
Right.
Yeah.
It's in the shape of a diamond instead of like squared.
I can maybe see it, but it's tough for
Really?
me. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see what you guys think. It's like an Aryan's negative shaded prison tat.
Yeah, I mean, woof.
They're saying it's an intentional troll. I feel like the New York Times wouldn't do that. If it was like the New York Post, I'd be like, oh, are they up to something? I don't know.
I guess it doesn't, like, when they put together that crossword puzzle, it didn't have to look like anything. It's just a crossword puzzle, right? So
yeah,
it could have been an accident, but I don't think so.
Loaded Wrench says all the articles in it have been erased from the web. Really? Not the Bee still has it, my friend.
I was gonna say take a picture of it then. Like, I took a picture of that Star of David mixed with the swastika that Kanye put out there because I'm like, that's gonna be wiped from everything.
Yeah, that one's not hanging around for too long, I feel like. Oh man. Well, we got to get to the Khalyla thing. We got a half hour left today. We got to get to our Khalyla stuff.
See that?
And yeah, we got to get to that's what you wanted, right? We got Khalyla and the quartering. And I think we're only going to be allowed to get to one. First of all, there was a
did you take Opie from me? Because I'd mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, but only because I think the Opie thing we can kind of do. It's sure. Evergreen, if you will. Opie's evergreen, in my opinion. So, ABBA from Preach from the ABBA and Preach show. I think that's what it's called. I'm really not up on black podcasts. I apologize.
You're forgiven.
Preach was on their show, Tiger Belly, on Khalyla and Bobby Lee's show. And like when they have white people on there and Khalyla's like trying to cuck out Bobby, she always does that on the show. Like she tries to make Bobby look like a bitch and tries to make him look weak and like mind fucks him on the show. And like when it's around white people and other like soft LA comedians, they'll be like, oh, okay. And they'll play along. Mm-hmm. You bring a guy like Preach on there, bring a guy from some Black Hood podcast and he'll be like, yo, you gonna let this bitch fucking talk to you like this? Like,
well, that'll be refreshing because you're right. I always see her kind of chew the scenery.
Right.
Like always.
And just she's a remarkably insecure person. I mean, watch Q. Oh, God damn it. What's the guy's name who did the Khalyla things? He put us in the video.
Not
XQC. That's a guy on Twitch. XTC.
XLP?
Yes, I think it's XLP. YouTube. Yeah, this guy. He actually put us in one, if not both, of the Khalyla videos. He's
Oh, that's right.
I like him. Because he put us in there. XLP, I think it's the only 2 videos he has on his channel. It's called Khalyla Kun, the most sadistic woman in comedy. And he did a great expose of what like a vindictive, manipulative, psycho, crazy, sociopathic bitch she is.
Yeah.
And she'll do this thing where she just tries to make Bobby look like a bitch all the time. And I used to feel bad for Bobby when it happened, But at some point, if someone's going to keep letting that shit happen to them, I stop feeling bad for you.
That's on you at some point.
Yeah. At some point, you got to put a stop to this. You can get rid of her. You can bring somebody in, maybe a nice, cute young lady who's got a little bit of a personality and isn't a dog jerking off psycho.
Well, check it out. They even broke up and he kept her there.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Are they still broken up?
Yeah. She tries to cuck him out, but then he also does it to himself. So what are you supposed to do? There's the girl from Trash Tuesday, the podcast she does with with Annie Lederman. Oh God, the Revenge of the Cis guys like her because she's like so innocent. And
I don't know her name.
Esther?
I'm sorry, I can't.
I think her
help
name's
you.
Esther on Trash Tuesday. Bobby could just move Esther in there and they could do a show together and he'd be out from the clutches of Khalyla. Well, maybe we're getting close to that point because they had this guy Preach on there. And Preach decided to let Bobby know, like, yo, you gonna... He couldn't stand the awkwardness anymore. And he was like, are you gonna let this fucking chick talk to you this way?
Oh, it got that bad? Wow.
Yeah. This is from the channel, I like this guy, Comedy Enforcement. Subscribe.
He's good.
Yeah. Subscribe
like
to
him.
Comedy Enforcement. I like this guy. He does a good job covering this stuff. But here's the clips, and I've got them timestamped for you.
So, yeah, I knew that. I knew he called me Tommy Lee, right? He probably thinks I'm Ronnie Chang. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing if he thinks you're Tommy Lee because of the dick size.
Oh, you mean the rocker Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. I just worked with Brittany.
Yeah.
Yeah. She talked about it.
That's
Awkward. It's just fucking awkward. Like, she tries to throw a dick slam in there.
That's kind of mean.
And then those two just kind of get there is a weird, palpable uncomfortableness between the two of them, chemistry-wise. And then
they
Preach
shouldn't
is
be in the same room.
Yeah, and then Preach is staring like, okay. That's his first hint of uncomfortableness.
She's kind of that's unprofessional at some level, too. You're doing a show here.
She also has to be the dominant person in the room, and if she can't outwardly dominate someone, she'll passive-aggressively do it like that. And Bobby is weak, so he's the perfect target for her.
And she knows that.
Yes.
Don't give away my secret, dude.
My bad.
That's
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro.
I claim big.
That is true because I've been with a guy with a micro penis, and it's not like I walked out. Like, I finished the job completely.
Finished the job. So, Bobby, how was the relationship with that? bro. She gonna blast you? She gonna blast you like that?
Yeah, like he's already, so Preach is already at the point where he's like, dude, what the fuck?
I kind of like this guy. He's a dude, and he's like, man, you're totally being a bitch right now letting him talk to you like that.
You bring like a street level black guy into an LA podcaster's room, and you might as well be a bull in a china shop because that guy's not going to let that soft, I go to therapy 4 times a week, gay ass LA shit fly.
Or letting women talk shit about your dick like that?
Right. Like
no
he's going to
way.
be like, I wish that Preach would like have a class with Bobby right now and go, look, you like Patrice used to do on I would love if Patrice this is so hacked to say at this point, but if Patrice O'Neal was still alive and could go on this show, he would basically turn towards Bobby, turn away from Khalyla and go, look, you're not going to talk the rest of the show. Bobby, I need to talk to you for a minute.
Right.
Like, who is this fucking bitch who's going to come in here and tell you what to do with your show? Like,
I hope he said something to Bobby like after the fact. Like
I think he said something on this show. Let's keep going.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
that
that's
wasn't
what I
me,
said.
Preach. Hey, you
was
can,
that me?
Hey, you can say
that me?
You can say like that, like shaggy. It wasn't me. But we don't believe you, bro.
Yeah. It's small.
No, it's average.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very average.
Yeah.
So right up.
So So Preach is already like, it's like he knows what's going on before Bobby does, and he's trying to warn him in a way. So now she brings up Bobby's position of power in the past.
Oh, that's not cool. I feel like everybody but Bobby always knows what's going on. Khalyla knows, the guests know.
She knows him better than he knows himself, and she knows how to turn the buttons, pull the levers.
He's like a toy that has a user's manual.
Yeah.
And she's got the manual.
And he hasn't read it yet.
No.
So Preach is already uncomfortable. Let's go to the next clip.
It was so just rampant. That's how dudes like, let me get you something. I'm gonna make, you want to do stand up? Try open mics. I'll take you on the road someday.
Wait. His position of power.
That's okay. It's a whole conversation him and I have, but
what position of power?
Hey, fuck, man.
No, not fuck you. No, Bobby, this is important. What he's trying to tell you is this bitch has convinced you that you had some kind of authority in the relationship while she manipulated and moved you the entire time. And Preach is trying to say, whoa. Who told you that you had power in the relationship? Oh, she did.
And then for me sitting here and like listening to her say, oh, it's just a conversation him and I have about position of power in our relationship and stuff. I can't imagine having that conversation with any dude ever.
Here's how that conversation,
Ever.
By the way, they don't have a conversation. Here's how that conversation goes. Oh, Bobby, you have all the power in our relationship because you had a career before this, so you should let me go on and do this and that and the other thing. There's no like back and forth conversation. There's Khalyla mindfucks this guy because he's weak into what to let him think who the fuck he is so she can go around and do her dirty, dastardly shit. Look,
you're right.
He's defending himself. She's smiling.
You're right. They don't talk. She tells.
Right.
That's it.
Wait.
Back. So in certain circles, I do have power.
No, you don't.
That's it.
But still.
The reason that I use the term... The reason that I use the term of
Asia power, bro.
position of power is because he has talked about not being attracted to a woman who is equally as wealthy.
Oh God!
Look at him.
He's fucking like somebody save this. This is why Preach needs to save this man. He's exhausted and he's been. Bobby, you don't have to take her fucking shit anymore.
All these people, though, that have tried to, like, expose her and stuff like that to him, like, there's no way he hasn't seen that. There's no way.
Again,
he knows.
This is where I would have empathy and sympathy for the abused man, but he's known this. This has been pointed out to him numerous times, and he just sits there like a lump, like a fucking lump. I would like to see one time her get confronted by somebody, that smile drain off her face. I would like to see her worried for a second.
And she's never, like, I will tell you why. Like, I've listened to a lot of stuff on her because she's almost fascinating. She's so evil.
Right.
She feels very comfortable saying every nasty thing that she's ever done, as far as like even jacking off her dog and having sex with her brother. And these are not things that I'm just coming up with. She says them on shows.
Like when she talks about him then like dying, there's no sense of remorse.
No.
There's no sense of emotion.
She giggles. And I'm just saying, like, she feels comfortable saying anything. She doesn't worry for a second, ever. People are worried about him more than he worries about him.
I never said that.
Look at his face.
But I never said that.
But Bobby, that is most of us.
Yeah, it's.
Thank you, Blacklit.
I told you I was on your side.
I didn't know.
You told me to shut the fuck up for 2 minutes and a half.
I didn't know.
I'm on your side,
I didn't know.
I'm on your side.
Oh, you're on my side. I forgot.
But most of us is that.
I get it.
And it's not so much that we're not turned on by it. Is that we don't care.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
In '92 LA riots, I would loot with you.
Oh my God.
And then Bobby, like someone tries to save Bobby and Bobby gets uncomfortable and then he just completely just throws it away. Like, this is why I don't feel sorry for this. This is why I've totally changed my tune on Bobby Lee, is because, you know, there's a saying, God helps those who help themselves.
And
he doesn't help himself.
There's truth to that saying. Whether you believe in God or not, I feel like you only get the help even from other people once you help yourself.
Bobby is only 50% in this position because of her.
Right.
The other 50% is because he fucking allowed it.
It's nothing is ever solely someone else's fault. That's the other part of it is you choosing.
You know who he is, and I think I'm getting the name right. He's George Spahn in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Remember when Brad Pitt's character goes in to see George?
Spahn Ranch.
Yeah, at Spahn Ranch, and all these like hippies, the Manson family, have taken up residence there.
Yes.
And he's convinced that Squeaky loves him, and they're all there taking care of him and helping him. And Brad Pitt's like,
taking care of the ranch.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt's like, dude, you need to kick these fucking hippies off. And he yells at him. And Brad Pitt just walks out. He's like, well, fucking I tried.
It's over.
It's hopeless.
It's over now.
Bobby Lee is Spahn. He's George Spahn at Spahn
He is.
Ranch.
And I mean,
And by the way, Khalyla is Charles Manson.
well, I think we all like collectively did an applause the day we found out they were splitting up too.
Yeah.
But then the guy comes out and says, "Oh, I still love her, and I'm still gonna let her live with me and co-host my show with me." Man, it's like somebody offered to completely cure you of your cancer, and you decided to keep it.
This is where I turned a little bit, and I had more sympathy, and I felt better about Brendan Schaub.
Oh, yeah. That was for me, too.
I was like, Brendan's a big oaf and a buffoon, but he's not a bad guy. Like, during the Khalyla Bobby Lee stuff, I thought he was a bad guy with all the bullshit I thought he was pulling. But I think that big dumb idiot, I don't think he even realizes it. He was close.
He exposed
he was
a
on
lot
to,
about her.
He was on to her.
Yep.
And I don't think he realizes how close he was. And he pulled back the reins because it was looking bad for him there.
It was coming down on him more than it should have.
None of them looked good in that whole thing.
No, but it said a lot about her.
It helped expose her a little bit. And that's where I stopped going, oh, Brendan's a piece of shit. And I went, oh, no, Brendan's just a goofball.
I think when Callan was doing his yelling at that point, too, like he was on a little bit of something, too.
Yeah.
But again...
But Brendan's got that shouty energy.
Yeah,
you know?
but again, the people like Callan and Schaub have to pull back the reins because they have a life to live, and when the shit's come down on them, you know, it's over.
Well, he's in Montreal.
Yes, I know, but I'm just saying in that context, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm not against it. I'm with. We're going to do it together. It's my uncle's store, bro. We're going to All right? So I'm with you too, dog.
Yeah, I actually hate the comedy in this because I'm like, no, he's close. Let him keep going, Bobby. This is the intervention. Bobby is an addict to her, and any attempt at intervention, he will try to deflect.
Do you keep hearing her like awkward laughs too? That sounds like a forced
Don't get
robot
too
laugh.
close. Don't get too close to what I'm doing. Don't you fuck this up for me, Preach.
I know, I'm here too, bro. Go ahead.
I forgot the original point.
Okay, the thing that happened is that you were talking about position of power, and I said, what do you mean by position of power?
Right,
and you
right.
flipped the script. The reason why I said, why do you mean by position of power? The only reason I said that is because I feel like women have a tendency to use and overabuse of that term of position of power. And that's the only reason why.
No, you're getting warmer.
Oh, she shut the fuck up.
Look at her face.
That face went from, she was big smiles a minute ago.
You're getting hot. It's like he's playing hide and seek with her and he's getting on her trail.
He's threatening to hit that main tendon, that just kind of that one that leads right to the heart, that artery. He's about to follow that vein all the way to the heart right there.
Look at her.
Doesn't mean you ain't got power. Doesn't mean you ain't great. You are who you are, Bobby Lee. You know what I mean? Like, but I just want to know, what do you mean by position of power?
She hates this.
Yeah, I think that it's more something that he's defined for
at
himself,
this.
not necessarily
Fine,
like
and this is a
because
position of
even when
power.
I
Now defeated, completely changes her point and takes a shot at Bobby.
got with him, I never
Body
felt like he
language.
was in a position of power.
See who's not on your side now?
Look at him
Look
too.
at me, Bobby. I'm nationwide. Nationwide.
That's nervous laughter coming out of her. I'm telling you.
She crossed her arms too when they brought that up. She
Yeah.
got totally her whole body. You talk about homeless dude
look.
making like body shit. Like, look at her.
I know that they're big, ABBA and Preach. I just don't know much about them. I really like this guy. I really like him because this dog shit Tiger Belly podcast is always full of these soft therapy going LA fucking paper mache comics. And now they're bringing a real dude in there. And he's like, he's in that room for 5 minutes and he goes, this bitch is fucked up, Bobby.
He is. He's almost like a therapist here. Like he can like read these two and see what's going on, but he's walking this fine line where he's like, look, I see he's totally dicked here, but he doesn't even see it, so there's no saving him.
I'm going to make an effort.
I'll make an effort, but that's as far as I go.
He's Brad Pitt at Spawn Ranch.
Yeah.
Me. That's me.
I know.
Hey.
Danger. What? No power? Nothing?
Not in the beginning, no.
Okay.
No.
Interesting.
Wow, do you want me to leave you?
Now this one's pretty funny.
Okay, and that I like this guy. It's just I don't want to steal like his takes or anything, so I'll just skip to the. And he did a good job of clipping it up. Again, comedy
enforcement.
Comedy enforcement. Subscribe to his channel.
He's
He's really great.
Very confrontational type.
No.
If we talk about the whole debacle that happened with Carlos Mencia, everybody.
Did he bring it back? He brought it back.
See how look at how serious Preach is, and look at how uncomfortable and jokey Bobby is. This guy's trying, man.
That guy's trying to get to a point and have an actual conversation about some stuff, and he's deflecting as hard as he can.
I feel like Preach is this close to going, Bobby, kick her ass out of the room for like 5 minutes and keep the cameras rolling. I got to talk to you.
Bobby, you're sick.
But we got to get you away from her. We got to separate you from her.
She's his disease.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
just told you to tell it, and you was like, yeah. And I understood why. I get it.
That's who I am.
get it. But and even I understood where you're from. And even Joe Rogan went like, maybe I went a bit too much, whatever. But things had to be said. So I don't even think right there from the beginning, no matter what you think from the core, you're not a very confrontational person. And then after that, you have to add.
Yeah.
Everything that's
right.
Oh, he wanted to say the manipulation, the shit she's doing to you, but
He's really towing that line right now. He's talking about her.
This conversation would be so much different if she went out to get a drink of water.
Yes, he's only behaving this way. It's like he's censoring himself because she's sitting right there, but he's only talking
She's
about
nervous, too, because he starts to get to certain shit, and that smile fades from her face real quick.
She always kind of like she does one of these looks over to Bobby, too. Like, to see like if he's picking up on what Preach is saying.
Because she knows what he's saying, but she's hoping Bobby's too dumb.
That's always...
And Bobby won't pick it up, and he is.
It's
Again, Bobby deserves this.
Always the case.
Back then.
What would you do? What would you have done? Ooh, baby,
I would have said, you know what?
This is crispy.
I would have been honest, and I would have said what I believe now is yeah, he's a great performer, probably one of the best in the business.
Yes.
He crushes, right? Yes. I don't think some of his ideas is his, right? In fact, I know it isn't. Right?
Oh my God. See the way you said that?
Right. Just say he stole.
Yeah.
Just say he stole. Like, he's so unconfrontational.
He's so soft, really.
Carlos Mencia being exposed needed a Joe Rogan level guy to be that aggressive. Because other people in comedy, especially LA comics, are fucking pussies, and they would go, oh, I just don't think that some of his ideas are... No, Joe Rogan just went, he's a thief. He's a fucking thief.
That's necessary.
He stole from Ari. He stole from Cosby. He stole from George Lopez. He's a fucking thief. And Rogan shouted it from the rooftops for like a year before Mencia finally got exposed. The reason these pieces of shit get away with it is because people like Bobby Lee are in charge, and they go, I think he's a great performer. This is like that therapy shit and that soft LA shit.
Excusing. Really?
He's a great performer, but some of his ideas weren't that original. You fucking pussy. And this is why this no-talent waste of space is still around sucking your bank account dry after she stopped fucking you, after she started fucking other people, after your relationship was over, and you still let her take a piece of Bobby Lee Incorporated because you're soft, you're mush, you're an LA comic, you're just that therapy-going, easy-to-manipulate tool, and that's why she's still here.
He lets her walk all over him.
He needs
like
an intervention. This is the best intervention he's going to get, but I doubt anything's going to happen.
You thought that was confrontational?
There's still a lot of diplomacy.
That was the softest shit I've heard today.
How would you? Wait. Give me another shot. Okay. Give me another. This is my first time being confrontational.
Hey, what do you think about Carlos Mencia, Bobby?
He's
Bobby
a thief.
That's more like it.
But
he's a
Can I say put a butt there? He's a great guy.
See, you said the thing you needed to say and the thing you meant, and then you walk it down with a compliment.
By the way, that's why he can't fire her. That's why he can't let her
go in general.
Because he would go.
I guarantee you those two are still having sex. I guarantee you they are.
Doubt it.
I bet you anything they are.
She's getting everything she wants, and she doesn't want to fuck him.
She'll fuck him on occasion just to keep him around.
She doesn't need to, and she doesn't want to. I'll tell you exactly what this is.
Okay.
She wanted in the business. Mm-hmm. He was the in the business. She said numerous times that he has sex like once a year or twice a year when they were together.
Oh, see, I missed those comments.
So she ain't fucking him. She got what she wanted. She's squeezing him dry. And anytime anyone like Preach, I doubt he's going to be back on again. Anytime someone like Preach gets too close or someone like Brendan gets too close. See, the problem with Brendan is he's dumb and he doesn't realize how close he was.
He doesn't know that he's stumbling onto the answer.
He was right there. If we all just wouldn't have shit on Brendan so hard, like make fun of him for him being dumb and silly, I think that's great. But if we all, myself included, would have backed off him a little bit more, maybe him and Brian would have got to the root of this problem and saved Bobby Lee. You know, it's kind of like in Star Wars when they didn't realize that Palpatine was the Sith Lord.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit, you guys are so close. You're just following the wrong guy. That was the Brendan and Bobby thing, where we're like, Brendan's such an easy-to-hate dope bro.
Yeah.
That he was an easy target. But now we realize that tough love and that shitty behavior he was giving Bobby is kind of what Bobby needed, unfortunately.
Like I said, we both kind of turned the page a little bit on Brendan Schaub after that.
Still a goof.
He's totally goofy, but now it's like in a totally endearing way, I think.
So much nuance when it comes to my relationship with him, all the things that he
still got a relationship with him.
Yeah,
I like this guy.
He still texts me.
He gave you your first car.
He gave me.
right?
I didn't have a car. He bought me a car. Got me a car.
He's still around.
Yeah, he's still around.
He still does comedy.
Yeah, still does stand up.
Cause I'd love to see that guy.
He kills.
Now that shit is out,
and he's also selling tickets, and he's doing well.
Cause now that shit is out there, all right. Hopefully, he doesn't do it no more. Cause I used to love this dude.
Me too.
The performance was on point.
On point, dude. Yes.
Can we get over?
That's what I'm saying.
Because he still can bring something to the table.
And I also have to say too, to defend him, right, is what he did was in terms of comedy, a crime, right?
Yes.
But other white dudes have done exactly the same thing.
Oh,
yeah,
and
always with the skin
they keep their
color.
career. They keep their reputation, and he was thrown out of the fucking business, and he's been in prison for 15 fucking whatever years. And I think because he's a Hispanic guy, and because he's a vocal guy,
I think he was in jail for too long.
Way too long.
He was in jail for too long, and I think
that's because everybody loves Rogan.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to impress Rogan. So
planting stakes on one side or the other.
Exactly.
That's me. Like okay, we get it. We got it. Like he suffered. He really could do something out there.
Yeah.
So
because right now, the clips that I see, I feel like it's his own voice. I don't think he's stealing anymore. I think he's finding joy in comedy again. He's selling tickets. You know, I know all those things. And without him in my life, I would have never been where I am.
Here's the thing.
All right. So that's now is that the end of the that's the end of the clips.
That got interesting, huh?
But again, what is it about her? What kind of succubus is she that they get so close? All these guys get so close to like what the problem is. They get so close to like snapping Bobby Lee out of it, and they get so close to going to Khalyla and going, "You're the fucking demon that's causing all of this." And then they pull back.
Well,
like even this guy Preach, who I like, he pulled back at the last minute. He knew. All these people knew. Unfortunately, the one that got closest to it, Brendan, didn't know.
She is an epic manipulator. She's got the dude brainwashed. And I think sometimes when there's people on their show, maybe like when they've got their own businesses and shit, maybe they're afraid of the shit she pulls behind the scenes and stuff. Because think about what she did with the Brendan Schaub thing and the allegations.
She made everyone feel like she was the victim.
Right. She pretended to be the victim when a lot of signs pointed towards her being the actual one who did everything.
The Trafficking African says, Aaron, she is the primary owner of the podcast. Yeah, look, I mean, you can try to help a guy all you want. But if he won't help himself, then what the fuck?
He is brainwashed, and I think a lot of people, everyone can see it but Bobby, and I think a lot of people that have their own shit going on maybe don't want to mess with her.
Small Victory says, did y'all see when Eric Griffin called her out for how she dressed and acted when they first met? I haven't, but I will say this. I wish Eric Griffin wouldn't be doing a podcast with that ghoul Chris D'Elia and Brendan Schaub, because Eric Griffin is a really funny guy.
I prefer actual strung out Peter Griffin.
Yes, it's, yeah.
The guy Aaron looks like a really thin, strung out Peter Griffin.
And again, I'm so insecure that I went, he thinks I'm really thin?
I knew you'd take that from it, but that was good, though.
Thank you, Husey.
I
appreciate that. She's got dirt on Bobby for sure. No,
right.
But look, as an O&A fan, Bobby has given out all the dirt on Bobby Lee. There's nobody who has dirt on Bobby Lee. She's got a hold. She's got her hooks in this guy. And you need like a Patrice O'Neal level guy to just go in there and blow that entire thing up. But for some reason, nobody will.
In some fashion, I think Bobby very much sees Khalyla as his life source. Like, she's always given him the answers to everything, and she's shown him the way when he can't find it. And you know what I mean? It's an addict.
I think he's determined. He's determined in his brain to see it as, well, if I get rid of her, the audience will leave. I think if he gets rid of her, he has to bring in someone else, but they would celebrate him.
Yeah, if you made a good choice there, I think that could be really great.
They would celebrate Bobby if he would just go, you know what? If he, you know what? If he showed up one day and she wasn't there and he told the audience, you know what I did? I washed my hands of her. I realized what a monster she was. And then just do an hour-and-a-half episode where he just, tells the whole story, tears her apart.
Yeah.
And you know who the guest is for that episode?
Brendan Schaub.
Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen.
There you go.
And they all become buddies again, and they go, you understand what was causing us to be separated was this fucking manipulative bitch putting us between each other.
I've got it.
What?
Brendan Schaub finally dumps his fucking Dalia podcast he's got because, let's be honest, that's a terrible business move.
Yeah.
He dumps all these other shit. Like, you've noticed he's got, like, several podcasts going on. Like, he can keep The Fighter and The Kid with Brian. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then cut everything else and just go do the other one with Bobby.
I've got a better idea.
Focus on a couple.
I got a better idea. Bring Brendan and Brian on as guests. Fire Khalyla. Team up with Theo Vaughn, do a podcast together.
I was going to suggest Theo. I
There
didn't
you
know if you'd think that was a good match.
I think that would be a fun match.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. That's the Bobby Lee Khalyla. It's nice to have a Khalyla thing to do again. I miss that.
Always find her very fascinating just because she is truly evil.
Yeah.
She's kind of like watching Cersei in Game of Thrones.
Yes, very much
She's
so.
very nasty.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for this evening's program. Thank you guys very much for all your help, all your support. Again, I'm going to tell you, we are good for the week. I have no idea where the goal is for next week. We will, as the YouTube numbers come in, which are 2 days behind, I will try to update you guys as I can. April, thank you very much.
Thank you.
To the rest of you, thank you. We will be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Central. Subscribe to our channel, like the video, check out the other stuff we've got on the channel. We put clips up every day as well, and we will talk to you tomorrow morning.